Everybody is amazing. Thank you for coming in. I'm just sharing out the live. You two are ridiculous. They're kind of playing, Mom. Welcome in, my loves. Thank you for coming in. We're doing some shadow work. I was just sharing out the live. Let me feel. I'm going to feel into some energy right now. I'm going to do a little bit of energy healing just to clear it. I'm getting some heavy downloads. Some frankincense. Welcome in, everyone. Please share out the live. Anybody you feel might need this. Thank you for coming in. Thank you. Thank you. Double tap that screen, share out the live to anybody you feel might need this. You guys are crazy. My crazy kitties. The crazy kitties. How we doing, everyone? Welcome in. Welcome in. Thanks for coming in. This is going to be the last day of my shadow workbook series. Although I am going to start pulling daily cards and giving little videos on shadow work every single day. I'm going to go through the whole card game, and I am going to, that's going to be my precedence. I'm going to do a integration card and an identification card in all of these videos. I took a nap before I came on. I went to sleep at 2 o'clock and didn't wake up until like 4:30. I'm assuming there's something happening with energy coming in. I know that a lot of narcissistic timelines are ending right now, Sarah. There's a lot of ego and pride that is being combated. The veil is gone. I don't know any other way to say it. Like, it's gone. Like, there's no more sugarcoating it in all aspects. Like, everybody has to ascend. They're ascending. They're on this perpetual state of ascension. It just doesn't mean that they're on the exact perpetual state that we are on. Mom, will you help me here for a minute? Will you plug in this breathing fan? I gotta pull this cord, the white cord. I plugged that. No, mommy. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Whatever. Thank you. Today was shadow work. A little bit. Yesterday was shadow work with my mom. A lot of stuff came in, which is beautiful. A lot of glimmers came in, which I love. A lot of glimmers. So the shadow work pays off, guys. So what do I say by glimmers? Okay. So glimmers are the opposite of triggers. They are the good things that happen in life. The reason that we do shadow work, the reason that we confront our own traumas is not to be okay with them or validate them or any of the above. It is to let the joy in. It is to let the love in. It is to experience the love that we weren't able to experience before. It is literally the reason why we do shadow work. We go into the depths of our souls in order to look at the things that have been holding us back, that have been putting blocks in front of us, that have been stunting us, that have been stunting everything. I call it beavering. We beaver our own dam. We put a block in front of it, and we will hold on to that block even though it's not serving us, it's not healthy, it's not good for us, it's not doing anything for us, but we'll hold on to it because it's comfortable and it's what we know. And that is what this fear-based society is trying to teach us. So by going in and taking a look at you, becoming aware, becoming self-aware, becoming conscious of your own things, everything going on within you that could be holding you back, when you make yourself aware of it and you start integrating whatever this is. This could be a basic trauma. So here's one. Okay, I'm gonna bring up. So my mom was a daddy's girl, right? And my grandfather died of a aneurysm. He died when I was really young, and like I only have a couple of baby pictures with him. So it was not unexpected. It was unexpected in the aspect of they found it and they knew that they had to do surgery on him, and he knew he could possibly die. So it was unexpected in that aspect, but they didn't get to mourn or talk about it. So when we started talking about that, when I brought that up, it brought my mom to tears. She's like, that's not trauma. And I'm like, that is trauma. That is trauma that has happened in your life that is coming up to be seen in order to make awareness to it so you can let another good thing come in. You let what you're holding on to, the pain, you let that go. Okay, that dissipates, right? It takes time. I'm not saying it happens overnight, but when you become aware of it, you can look at it, you can acknowledge it. You may not see that it's a trauma. Like, she literally thought it wasn't trauma. It was like, you know, because she was in her 30s, but still, you know, like, that's something that came up. And so yesterday, after exploring something like that was a trauma that we dug to, right? A trauma that I had to dig to. Like, I had to get in with the shovel and dig, and pull out stuff. And by doing that, I found some things that, you know, it's kind of unfair because I know it. I already kind of know the stuff, but it's like, it's also intuitively coming in for me, and I intuitively get these hits, right? So it's a trauma of losing those that are most dearest to us. Hi, my loves. Welcome in, everyone. Thank you for coming in. I hope you have your tea, you have your water. We're gonna go as long as my body is feeling it tonight. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna be on, but this is gonna be the last day of the series, so I am gonna do this. I will do readings tonight if you guys want. I will add that in. I will do some, you know, I'm gonna do a little bit of energy healing. I'm just kind of talking about the process. Yesterday was a lot of integration, so much integration, and there is a lot of evil eye being thrown at me that is insane for talking about this stuff. Like, this is for talking about my story, and it's like, I'm not posting it for everybody to see my story. I'm trying to post it for people who think that it isn't trauma, for people who don't understand that the basic stuff that happened in our life is what the trauma is. It doesn't mean that you have to have this massive accident, or that you know, something happened where you're completely traumatized and, you know, you're harmed or something like that. Like, it doesn't have to be as deep as that. It could be, you know, it doesn't mean that you physically got harmed. It means that something happened that caused trauma in your life that you weren't adequately allowed to process. And by not processing it, it created an energy block in your body. That energy block in your body got stored in your fascia. That the fascia is the white part of our body. You know, when you eat meat, when you eat meat, there's that white film, right? Hi, Drew, welcome in, love. So there's that white film that's in every piece of meat, right? That is the fascia. That is our energy body grid. That is the grid that our energy moves through, and it gets stored in our fascia. And this is why I promote somatic exercise so incredibly much. Like, in my yoga practice, this is going to be, you know, implemented on a normal basis. The somatic exercise of moving your body, moving your hips, moving the things. Yeah, the attacks have been real. It really took me down yesterday. Not okay, that's the wrong word. It didn't take me down. It just, I had to integrate more. This is the thing, though. It's not coming at me directly. It's coming at me energetically. It's not coming at me. Nobody's coming at me. Nobody's saying anything that I know of or that I care about. You know, it's that It's an energetic attack because I'm standing up. Yeah, fibromyalgia, my autoimmune disease. That's where my autoimmune disease came from, because all of that trauma got stored in my body. And then so my fascia was holding on to all of this sort of stuff in my body, and it wasn't able to process and flow through it. So it created all these blocks. It caused me to be overweight. It caused me to be inflamed. It caused me to, all of my allergies to get flamed. I couldn't eat anything. So many parts of my life I could not do. There is such a physical reaction for not dealing with the trauma that happens in your life. And that's because our society has taught us to not look at the things. We grew up in a home where you weren't allowed to cry, both my mom and me, and that means that her parents had the same thing. So that was something that got passed down. That's what generational trauma is. And that's why we're generational curse breakers, because we take the time to look at the things, to heal the things, to deal with the things in order to not pass it down to the next lineage. That is what generational trauma is. It is not as woo-woo as everybody thinks it is. It is literally just dealing with the thing so you don't pass it down so the next generation doesn't have to deal with it. That's it. It's just like taking a genome out of the chemical makeup. It's literally just taking out a gene. It's about taking one ingredient out of the recipe and then it's altered. Like, that's it. It's just taking one ingredient out. It's so incredibly simple and so incredibly just beautiful. I did go on, a couple lives last night and talked to a couple people, and talk about this. And like I said, I am going to continue with the shadow workbook. It's going to be a regular thing. I'm going to do, the shadow work card game. I'm going to pull cards, and I'm going to do daily videos on them. Maybe not daily, maybe every other day. But that's going to be most of the content that I'm going to start putting out for a while, because most people, and this is the unanimous thing that I learned from this series, is that nobody really understands how to do the shadow work. The books describe it. Yes, they tell you how to do it, but it's easier read than done. I am a kinetic learner. In order to learn, I need to physically see it, I need to read it, and I need to act it out. I need to do it. That is kinetic. I need to do all three for my body to fully integrate it into me. That's how I process stuff. And we're all different learners. We all learn in different styles. So a lot of what I keep getting the feedback is, I keep being told, oh, I have the shadow workbook and I've never even opened it. I've never even looked at it. I've never even done it. I've never done the work. And that's fear of stepping into your own light. That is fear to stepping up. That is fear to looking at the things within you that everybody has demonized, okay? And I am quoting that because they're not demons. They are just dark. They are just absent of light. They have not been made aware. You are not aware of them. That is it. And the basic trauma of stuff like that, this is coming to mind. Okay, so we were talking about death. Yeah, and so that's why I'm gonna, Sarah's saying the same thing. Like Sarah's saying, she had it right here and she's not doing it. Well, this is why I'm openly doing this series and I'm posting it, and I'm posting it everywhere, and I'm gonna start making videos on this, and I'm gonna do, the shadow workbook. I'm literally gonna go through it, and I'm going to do every single card inside the shadow work. I'm going to do them on a normal basis, so that way I can show people how to do the shadow work and because they're just questions that are being asked. You ask yourself this question, and then literally you go down a rabbit hole to discover it, because just by opening that one little wound, we went down and down and down and down a rabbit hole, and it was like, she came to tears finally, which was something that is very difficult for my mom to do, to cry. It's very difficult for her to cry. It's hard for her to cry because she's trained her body to not cry for so many years, and that's what I did for so many years also, because I mirrored, my mother. I looked, and, as a sponge, that was what I thought was right, that I wasn't supposed to do that. I was supposed to be strong, and it's actually stronger to feel the feelings and to deal with the deal, to feel the feels, to deal with it and heal it. You heal it by dealing with it and feeling it. Okay, I gotta grab some salt. I'll be right back, and then we're gonna get right into the shadow work. I'm feeling a little bit in the third eye, so I'll do a little clearing of the energy. I'm feeling a little bit in the crown and third eye, and then we're gonna get right into the shadow work. And I think I'm just gonna do most of that tonight. It's going to be mostly chatting. If somebody comes in and asks for a reading, I will be happy to do it after at least, an hour of shadow work. Shadow work is the most important part of this. This is the last day of the series. I don't know. I'll decide in the moment. I'll ask my guides in the moment. Yeah, because everybody keeps asking me to do readings, and I'm like, or do healings, and I'm like, well, just not at the moment. You know, it's not that I'm not doing it. It's not that I will not do it. It's just at this moment, I'm just focusing on the shadow work. And, you know, because it's so important and I want everybody to understand it because I want you to step into your power. I want you guys to step into your power. Like, I want your solar plexus to light up. Like, this is what is being siphoned from us. The energy, our solar plexus, our source of light, like literally the solar plexus right here that shines bright, that is the gold that is being mined. It is being mined from us. Our energy is being taken from us. And that is what is continuing to happen. So as soon as you step into your power and you own all your power, nobody can take it from you anymore. And it doesn't matter. Nobody can touch you. Like, all of this evil eye, this stuff that's coming at me, all of this negative stuff that's coming at me, it's probably not even people knowing that they're doing it. They just don't want to hear the things that they don't want to look at. And that's what I'm going to do as a divine feminine. I'm going to show you your darkness. I'm going to mirror the darkness because I've done the work on myself. I continually do the work on myself. The shadow work that I did on my mom yesterday, I did just as much on myself. I did just as much on myself. Like, it took a toll on me, you know what I'm saying? And I went to bed early. And then, you know, like, every bit of shadow work that I do, and I'm showing people how to do it, I'm doing it also on myself. So everybody that is doing the work, everybody, like, I honor you, I love you. Every one of you that is raising your vibration, you are literally altering the planet's frequency. And we are rising. This is how we make change. This is how we change the planet. This is what Gandhi was talking about. Anybody vibrating at 700 hertz, okay? 700 hertz, that is the vibration of love, all right? So Gandhi talks about 900, okay? Which is, I think he says 900, but what he's talking about is vibrating higher than that, okay? My crown's lighting up, so this is something I gotta say, okay? So, anybody vibrating at 700 hertz will cancel out 900,000 people at a low, dense vibration that is in pain, that is in shame, that is in guilt, that is in anger, any one of those lower vibrational things, all of those, 900,000 people. So if one person is doing the work, just one person, like, we've been taught in the society that you can't make a difference, that one person can't make a difference. And it's the opposite. Like, frequency, the science behind it shows the exact opposite. You can make a difference. Just one person can cancel out all. I mean, imagine that. That's like a freaking an orchestra stadium. That's like an orchestra stadium. A stadium, not, you know, a football stadium, but like an orchestra. If you went to the orchestra, like, that's what it would be filled. That many people, one person can cancel that out. Like, I mean, that just lights me up. It brings so much joy. Okay, I'm getting some salt. I'll be right back. We're gonna get into shadow work. Anybody, the cards are free. So the cards are integration and identification. You tell me what card you want, and then what other card you don't do, I will do the opposite of that card. So we're doing both 1 and 2 of the cards because it's 2 cards. So whatever one you don't do, I will do. Pick a card, identification or integration. Let me know. Type it in the chat. I'm going to make a little list, and then we're going to get into the shadow work. Okay? I'll be right back. Donna, identification. Nice, love it. Keep coming, guys. How many more we got? We got identification. Anybody else? Anybody else want to play it? We got Donna, identification. Come on, we got 5 people in here. Okay, and so you don't have to do a card. Don't feel pressured to do a card. If you just want to stay in here and you just want to watch, please stay and watch. You don't have to be part of it. This is what this is about. I'm doing it. I'm doing the action. I'm showing it. I'm playing out the actual action of doing, so that way people can see it, so they can visualize it, so they can hear it, and they know how to do it. This is not for, you absolutely have to do it. If you were just trying to learn how to do shadow work, that's all this is to show you how easy it is to go into this stuff. Identification. Okay, Teresa. We got integration. Anybody else? You guys are welcome to stay. Just double tap the screen, share out the live, just hang out if you just want to hang out. And every one of the questions that come up, you are welcome to answer them if you want. Like, this is an open chat. This is an open, vulnerable, honest chat. I'm going to be open and vulnerable and honest, and I'm going to talk about all the things, so that way you guys can see the different things that are trauma that come up, okay? All right. just clearing out the crown. Can I just clearing out the auras that are in here? Woo! Okay. All right, Donna, identification, love. Let me shuffle them up. Let me see what's up. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. Come in. If you want a free card, please let me know. We are doing shadow work today. Anybody that wants to do it, you're welcome to stay. If you just want to stay in the chat and you want to talk. Whew. Here we go. Okay. On it. We're on it. All right. So this is an identification card. And we are talking about vulnerability. I love this. I love this. Okay. What makes you feel unsafe or vulnerable? Donna, the floor is open to you, my love. If you don't want to say it, I will. And that is exactly why I am being so open and vulnerable, is because some people may not feel that comfortable. I'm trying to bare my soul to allow others. This is something I do with my clients. This is something that I do. My story, I openly talk about my story in order to assist others to see down the rabbit holes, to see down the things that they have not seen before. So the card is vulnerability. What makes you feel unsafe or vulnerable? I'm not gonna lie. Some men do that to me. Okay, so I go to the pool and I swim on a normal basis. So I made a joke about it yesterday. You know, like there was like a birthday party that was happening in the rec room, right? So ever since I moved into this place, men have started following me to the pool to sit and watch me. And it's like I'm just tanning and I'm just laying out in the sun and I'm getting the rays. And there was like a birthday party, and the fathers saw me walk by, like some fathers or something, that these men were in like full jeans. And they came and like came outside and sat in like the chairs and watched me. Like it was just really weird. I don't know how to explain it. Like I made a joke, you know, like my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Like it's a joke, but it's also like I'm being ogled. You know, and I know I'm beautiful. I get it. And this isn't me boasting. Like this is like I get it. I understand it, but it's like. My light has always been bright, and a lot of people want to see me and they want to visualize me, but to the point where they're getting in my space, in my bubble, has started to scare me. And that's I've felt I don't feel unsafe at home, mind you. I'm at home. I don't feel unsafe here. Like I don't feel unsafe at home, and I don't feel unsafe at the pool, but I feel unsafe by the actions that are happening. And I don't know that there's something I can really do about that. So shadow work, my own beauty scares me, I guess I would say. My own, the work that I put into myself, the brighter that I get, the more that I don't dim my light, the more that are going to be attracted to me. Animals, children, people, everybody is attracted to me. Everybody comes to me. The lighter or the brighter my light gets, they'll follow me. And I guess maybe society has taught me that it's unsafe. Yeah, I don't necessarily feel unsafe because I know I could defend myself. Maybe I could start taking mace with me. I don't know. Not that I need it. You know, it's like broad daylight, and it's right by the rec room. So it's, I don't know. That's something that's been doing it for me. That's been making me feel weird. Yeah. Okay, integration. I'm going to do integration now. Donna did identification. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Okay, my card, integration. Integration card. Core values. What are your core values? Why are these so important to you? Let me find my words. So, integrity. Integrity. to be integral. Oh, me too, Donna. I've had stalkers my whole life. I'm not exaggerating. I had stalkers in high school. I had a stalker in high school. So when I first moved out of my mom's house, when I moved into an apartment, you know, she helped me get an apartment at 17, and I was going to school, and I worked full time. I worked at McDonald's, and I would come home every night. And one night, you know, some guy was giving me a ride home, and you know, I smoked weed back then, and it was like he had his friends pick him up, and he gave me a ride home. It was one of the coworkers. They gave me a ride home. And the friends he had with him came, you know, they were with him, and it was like, they, you know, like, do you want to smoke a joint? I'm like, okay, sure, yeah, that's great. You know what I'm saying? I had to go to sleep, and it wasn't like they were there for long or anything like that. But a guy that came in, I believe was in like some sort of full psychosis moment. Like, I was oblivious to them. I came in and I washed my hands and I scrubbed my fingers and I started doing my nails. Like at my table. I sat at my table, and I remember using nail polish remover and taking off my nail polish, and or just, you know, doing whatever, and then because we have to work well as McDonald's, but cleaning them real good and then doing them, because it was like I was going into the weekend or something and I didn't have to work. So I literally had, I'm 17, this is at 17, and then I had the guy there, the guys that were there, like I went to the restroom and then they took off, and I'm like, okay, good, sweet, I didn't have to tell him to leave. But he took my keys, and I freaked out. I'm freaked out because I'm like, holy fuck, this guy has the keys to get in my house. And I'm at my house, right? And I mean, I was scared. I was scared out of my freaking mind. You know, I called my friend Al. He came over, and he like stayed the night. You know what I'm saying? The next couple nights, because it took like 2 days for them to come and change the locks. Well, I think it was like 24 hours, something like that, maybe 24 hours, but it was almost 2 days for me to change the lock. So he stayed the night there, right? And he stayed the night on the couch, and he was just there helping me, right? Just being there for me. And, you know, I'm freaking out because I live alone, and I'm like, I don't got nobody, and I don't got a car, and it's like I got a phone, but that's it, you know? And this was like back in the 90s, so you know what I'm saying? Like, I only had, why are there restrictions? Okay, that's weird, be restricted. I got 2 restrictions for talking about this. That's incredibly insane. Okay, restrict me. I don't care. I won't be silenced. It won't happen. So this guy took my keys, right? And I called and I got the locks changed, all right? And getting the locks changed, essentially, you know, I was so scared the rest of that whole entire, you know, month. The guy came back, like, my friends, so like all my friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had a big group of friends at the time, and like I was talking to all of them, and like all the guy friends like did rounds. Like, they would come and like stay on my couch because they were trying to protect me. This guy had my keys, and they were freaked out about it because I was a little girl. I mean, I am still kind of tiny, like I'm 5'6", and you know what I'm saying? Like, I was really tiny. Hi, beautiful, welcome in. So what ended up happening is, like, so I used to play spades a lot. Like, that's what I would do at night. Like, we would drink and we would play spades, you know, or we would play euchre. I was drinking and playing spades, and it was quiet. It was like my girlfriend was staying the night, and she'd been staying the night with me and like sleeping in my bed with me. I had like a full-size bed. And, you know, guys were staying the night, like they were doing like rotations, like they did like round, which is cool. They were protecting me. I loved it. You know, so we were all playing spades, and this guy came back with the keys to try and get in my house in the middle of the night. Like, we were just up. It was a Friday night, and we were, you know, playing spades, and we were quiet. We weren't being loud. We were just playing spades. We were just listening to some music low and having drinks. You know what I'm saying? Like, back when I drank a lot when I was younger. But this guy tried coming back and getting in the house, and he literally thought, okay, so he was in some sort of psychosis. He thought something. This stalker thought that I had told him to come back. Like, we didn't even have a conversation, but this guy in his own mind thought that I had a full conversation with him and told him to come back, and then I gave him my keys. He stole my keys. I didn't have that conversation with him. I didn't even know the guy's name. I knew nothing about him. And, you know, like, it became this big thing that it was crazy, you know, that had happened to me. So, you know, that continues to happen. Like, I have stalkers that follow me. I've had stalkers that have tried to get close to me because they don't know how to communicate. This is called coming from trauma. Mind you, I'm speaking about this because this is stuff that comes from trauma. I'm not putting down these men. I am not speaking nasty about these men. I am not speaking anything. I am saying that there was something going on within them, a trauma. My light was so bright that they wanted to get near me any which way they could, okay? I've had stalkers that have created fake profiles, acted like my mother to contact me, to speak to me and started saying, how are you doing? Because they wanted to talk to me and kept coming at me. And I'm like, I called my mom, like, is this you? What the heck is this? And it wasn't. It was a complete freaking, like people that have stalked my file, like my profile, and tried to know who I am, and then like acted like my mother to get to know me. And I'm like, what? Why? Like, why not just have a conversation with me? Why not speak to me? Why not talk to me? Because I'm going to be kind to everybody. As long as you're not doing any harm to me, I will do no harm to you. You know, so when you come in a malicious way, when you come in a way that you're trying to deceive me, that is scary. That's very unsafe. It makes me feel very unsafe because you're coming in a deceptive way. Just come in a normal way. And that's where, okay, so that card is vulnerability. If they were just vulnerable enough to speak to me, to talk to me, I probably would have been their friends, and I probably could have brought light into their light in a good way. I don't discard anybody. I don't put anybody down. I'm never going to tell anybody I'm not going to be their friend. I'm here for everybody and anybody in all aspect. So, okay. Somebody needed to hear that. Oof. So we're doing shadow work, my love. We are doing healing vibes. This is healing that we are doing. I am doing the healing. We are talking about the traumas that have happened in our life to go through the things and talking about that so that way we can uncover what is unseen in order to send in healing for those things. Donna, I'm going to send in healing for you right there. And then I'm going to go into the integration card that I pulled. Okay, this is, I'm being told third eye. This is to see the unseen. So maybe I should have said, I should have seen, but see, and then that's where it comes back around. You know, I mean, and it continued my whole life. I'm not even joking. It continued in a really, I've got that, those are just two basic stories. Like, I've got many other stories. Like, even when I was married, like, men that were trying to stalk me. And I had a very feminine husband that was not protective, that did not protect me. And more than on a normal basis, it was like I had to protect myself. And the men that were around us, like his friends and stuff, they protected me more than he did. Like, he did not protect me, or my friends or something. Like, I mean, I have so many freaking stories of that is happening. It's incredibly insane. But that's not what I'm harping on. I'm trying to speak about when your light is bright, you will get this. You will get those that come to you that, you know, have come and will do this. And you will also, that wound, okay, that wound, also, I attracted a man that wasn't up to my par, that wasn't up to my, we weren't equally yoked. He put me in my masculine energy, which I got really, really sick because it wasn't my normal energy. It wasn't my normal state of being. All of my body got really, really sick because I had to be in my masculine energy and he was in his feminine. He was in his wounded feminine. It wasn't, you know, and I was in my wounded masculine because of the wounding that had come onto me, okay? The trauma from these men. I didn't understand this stuff back then. The trauma of these men and the actions that they played out and put into my reality, it wounded me. You do the trauma work, the shadow work, to uncover these things, to look at them, to see where it harmed you. I wanted any protection. I did not have protection growing up, so I wanted any sort of protection. So the man that I married was a narcissist and played a very good role. He wore a very good mask. I was not educated on it. I did not understand it, and he played a very good role. And I was very young when I got married. I was 21 years old. I was a little girl. Like, I didn't understand things. Like, I was a woman, but I didn't understand things in life, and I didn't understand what were good for me. So that trauma played out in every single aspect of my life. So if I would have explored that back then, I could have had, now, mind you, this is not me complaining. I am not complaining. I am talking about, had I explored it back then, possibly, I would end up in a different situation, a different vibration. Now, I believe everything happens for a reason. I believe everything is divinely orchestrated, and it doesn't matter what path you take, you're still going to end up exactly where you need to be. It's just like Waze. It will reroute you to where you need to go. It doesn't matter what path you choose. There is no right. There is no wrong. It's going to lead you exactly where you need to go. But in that same aspect, we can do the shadow work to allow I don't want to use the word better. I want to say the good, or the higher vibration. That's the word I want to use. The higher vibrational beings into your life. By having that man, by having that wounded feminine in my life, wounded feminine masculine, he was a masculine man, you know what I'm saying, who was in his wounded feminine, who acted, he played an act, he acted like he was masculine, he wasn't, like, at all. He played this act. So that didn't allow anything that was meant for me. That is a block. That is a subconscious block that I held that was there. So anything that I wanted me, and it couldn't have come to me because I had that in my field, because I had that around me. His energy was around me. It's all about the energy. His energy was surrounding me, and I could not get what was made for me, and that was because I didn't explore it. I was holding on to a comfort. I was holding on to a comfort of something that wasn't even providing the stability or security or protection that I actually needed in the freaking 3D physical realm, like in the 3D world. Like, so that is a big thing. Like that's how trauma is played out. That's how trauma will put you in situations until you learn the lesson. I finally learned the lesson, and learning the lesson now is the opposite. Now I'm attracting in men and magnetizing men that are like surrounding me, that are freaking like protecting me, and they're not even here. It's like, seriously, like the men that I'm magnetizing in, their energy is protecting me. Like, it's blowing my mind. I'm just completely in awe of the masculine energy that's coming in, that is meant to come in, that is meant to be there, because I did the trauma work. I did the shadow work. I looked into the things, and I allowed what was meant for me to come in. So now I'm magnetizing what is meant for me. It's actually coming in. And then my magnet was still there. It was still there. I just didn't look at it. It was my own trauma that did it. So we're going to do core values. Anybody, welcome in everybody. If you want a card, please let me know. We're doing free cards, identification, and integration. I'm going to send in some forgiveness for not knowing to the third eye for you, Donna. Please breathe. Make sure you're breathing everybody in here. This is for everyone. This isn't just for Donna. This is for everyone. Spillover is real. Any of this that resonates with you, I believe that you were here for that reason. Ash, integration, love. Absolutely. Ooh. This is hitting the sacral too. Oh my God. Okay, so sacral and solar plexus is hitting a little bit too. So confidence and security within self. Okay. Anybody that isn't familiar, I am a transmuter. I transmute energy. I will take on the energy, and I will process it out. I fast before I do any healings. It assists me in understanding what's happening in others' bodies around me. Make sure you're breathing, Donna. And if you're open to the healing, just tell your mind to tell your body that you are safe and unconditionally loved. Big push here. Okay, there we go. That feels better. Woo! Okay, integration card that I have, that I pulled from me, core values. Core values, okay? What are your core values? Why are these so important to you? Integrity. Integrity is so important to me because I did not see it growing up. I did not see integrity from my dad. I did not see integrity from my ex-husband. I did not see it in, women we in your feminine nature, a woman, and this isn't gender-based. This is not gender-based. This is, you can be a man and still be feminine, but that's your feminine. And, so this is not gender-based. Like it's just a dominance that's within you that is cultivated. You need a balance of both. So I'm more comfortable in my feminine. I personally, myself, my personal self is more comfortable in her feminine role. So integrity, not being integral, made me feel unsafe, made me feel, and I'm relating all of it to what I was just talking about. This is, like I said, me being open and vulnerable, talking about the things. It led to me getting myself into situations that were not right for me. I did not understand what was right for me. Integral, like doing harm to others. I won't be in relationships with people that are in committed relationships other than mine. I've had lots of married men that approach me, and even okay, so even the unicorn, like I get approached all the time as like people want a unicorn. They want, that woman that's going to be there for both of them, like a man and a woman that want, somebody to do it. Like I get approached all the time, but it's like, I'm still not going to do that because there's this weird karmic sort of circle that's happening there that I don't want to play part of, that I don't want to be a part of, because that'll create some sort of karmic loop for me, for whatever's happening over here, for whatever people's got feelings, whatever. They're exploring out, and like you can be open and you can explore, and that can be magnificent. It could be something that you enjoy, and I'm not putting anybody down for that. Like if you've done the work and you want to do it, and like, I can't say that I wouldn't do that sort of stuff in a relationship that I felt secure in. But for me, it comes from a place of, I'm not quite sure about this. Like, this doesn't make sense. Like I've got approached by women that are in the relationship, and I don't know why I feel a little more secure when they're the ones approaching me, but I'm nicer. But when the men are approaching me, it's like, I don't know, And then I've had lots of men that approach me that are married, that I can feel it. I can feel this shit, man. Like I'm an empath, guys. Like I intuitively see this stuff, and it's like it comes into me, and I feel it before it happens, and then I remove myself from the situation. So integrity is really important, because you're coming to me from a deceptive point of view, trying to deceive me instead of just coming with your truth. I honor honesty. Honesty, those are one of my core values. It's so incredibly important to me. Honesty does not mean that it has to be nice. It just has to be maybe kind, and just say it in a different way. That's something that I learned growing up. I've always been very, very vocal and said all the things. I don't hide or shy away from the things. I say all the things. Everything that needs to be said, I'm going to say it. And so I'm not creating more trauma. I subconsciously literally did the things throughout my life in order to understand that talking about this stuff is going to be better for me. It's going to work for me. For me, that works. So being honest with me, coming to me and being honest is more important. Like more important when you come to me in a situation. So here we'll go back. Let's see. Here's another example. Okay. My ex-husband, when I met him, he had a girlfriend, or I don't know what she was, okay? Because we lived in different states. I lived in Florida, he lived in Colorado. I was very, very young when I met him, okay? And I knew nothing about this woman. I knew nothing about her. He did not tell me anything about her. I did not know until after we were married, and he took me to a bar that was like, because he was a soldier, we went out to the bar with all of his friends, and the woman was there, and she went crazy because I was there with him. And it's like, I had no idea what was happening. And that was also, I trusted him. That broke trust. Like, that broke the foundation of our relationship, because I did not know that was happening. I had no idea that was something that was happening. And like, he described it to me, narcissists describe everybody on the outside that, oh, they're crazy, they're this, they're all that. And it became a pattern. He said his ex-wife was like that too, that she was crazy and she was this and she was that. And then when we got divorced, he did the same exact thing. It's when you break my trust, right? When you break my trust, when you are not honest with me, or when you are confronted with it and you aren't honest with me, when you are given the opportunity to be honest with me, you are defiling yourself and defiling me by doing that action. You are literally putting a negative, dense energy in the body, on the body, in the aura, in around you, and it'll drive me crazy. As a intuitive, somebody getting downloads on a normal basis, it will drive me crazy. It will literally keep you in a state of mental fog and not understanding. As a woman, the ones who see the snakes in the grass, we see this stuff, we can feel this stuff. So if you keep us in a state of confusion, we can't get those intuitive downloads. So it becomes a toxic state of being that will continually come at you in a normal state. And this is not Delulu. This is not Delulu. You know, Jordan Peterson, like I freaking love him. He's a psychologist, like a renowned psychologist who talks. He's the one who says that the women are the one who see the snakes in the grass. If you just listen to them, if you just go through the things and talk about the things and find out the things, you will get to it. You will find out what's out there. You will figure it all out, and you will do it together, and she will help you do it. And that comes back to also the division. Like, see all these little avenues. So I'm going to stop. Like, see all these little avenues and these things that are coming in just from one basic question. You go down this rabbit hole and you start talking about all the little things, and then it gets released. Like, you're talking about it, you find a solution for it, okay? So this is how you make change, okay? In order to make change, it is 3 steps. You have to become aware of it. Now I'm quoting Adam Rowe. He just put something out about this, and I love it. I've been quoting it nonstop. So in order to change, you need to become aware. The shadow work is to make you aware of it, right? And then you need to integrate it. Integrating it means taking the baby steps by doing a conscious decision, because you're aware, choosing different things, choosing different steps, choosing a different action. It doesn't mean that it's perfect. You could still have, somebody needed to hear that, okay. You can still have all this sort of stuff that is happening that you're not doing right, but because you're consciously making those baby steps, like just one step forward, making one conscious decision to do something better and go forward, literally, you're choosing a different path. You have to integrate it, okay? So it's awareness and integration, and then when it becomes default, the change has been made. When it becomes your default setting that you immediately go to right away, that is when the changes happen. But integration is such a vital part of it. You have to integrate all the things. You have to process it through your body. You know, trauma will come up and we will drink, okay? That's something that I did for so many years. I drank, for so many freaking years because I was numbing. I was numbing from the life that I was in. I was in pain, and I thought I was being loyal. The loyalty was to who? It wasn't to me. I'm the only person I'm responsible for on this earth. There's one human on this planet that I am responsible for, and that is me. Now, I'm not negating, mothers and stuff like that, but I'm not a mom yet. Like, so in that aspect, I am only responsible for me. So by numbing it, I was causing my own hell. I was living in a hell up in here that I continually perpetuated on a normal basis. That was mine. Okay, Teresa, you hear, love? We're gonna go to integration. Okay, sounds good. Okay, I like this one. Integration, and the card is acceptance. How can you practice accepting yourself? The floor is yours, Teresa. Anybody, everybody is open to chat. This is an open forum. This is a safe place. You can talk about anything, or you don't have to. You can sit and you can just watch, and you can see the avenues that go down and all this sort of stuff. This is just me showing you in a visual of how the shadow work goes. When how you go down, Jordan Peterson talks about this. In order to heal a trauma, you have to go back to it and choose a different action, to go a different path. And that's where healing it comes in, If you guys don't know Ashley, go follow Ashley. She's an amazing healer. She is one of my vital freaking core people that help assist me in my healing process, that literally start me down the journey of actually getting to my passion, to be able to do this, to see what was there for me. And that was energy healing. That was healing the things that were unseen. I was still in a place of unseen. So being unseen, these things unseen, I was still staying in a hell. I was still in a virtual hell. I knew I needed to do different. Acceptance. How can you practice accepting yourself? Well, okay, so there we go. What I just said, let's talk about Ashley. I'm going to say something, Teresa, because you're not speaking, my love, and that's okay. You are free to just sit. I'm happy to talk about it. That's what this is about. Radical acceptance of the position that I was in, and knowing that I needed to take action to do something different, was where the healing began. The radical acceptance of who I was where I was, the things that I've done in my life, and to become aware of them, and to know that every single thing that happened in my life happened because of me. Nobody else did it to me. Nobody else has done anything to me. I have been doing it to myself. It was what I was allowing, because I am the only person responsible for me. I am the only person responsible for my energy. I am the only person that is responsible for it. Nobody else can be responsible for your actions. Doesn't mean you can't have people in your life. It doesn't mean that you can't have guidance and assistance. You know what I mean? We have so many different soulmates that come into our life to help us. Even the traumatic ones that came in were there to teach you a lesson. They were there to teach you something. I didn't learn the lesson. And so it kept repeating over and over and over again in my life until I learned it. And that was what will happen. So radical acceptance of anything that is coming up, any sort of trigger. Anytime a trigger comes up, I immediately look at the glimmer. What is the glimmer in this? What is this teaching me? What am I trying to see here? What am I not seeing? What am I not open to? What do I need to see? How and why is this happening? And I get excited. Like, I get so excited when I get triggered now. Like, I'm like, yes, like, let's do this, level up. Like, it's like, level up, you're in this video game, and it's like, yep, you just beat this round, and you're going to the next level. Like, oh, it's that's the juicy stuff. Like, that's the good stuff. Like, get it, let's do this. Like, I used to be very bitter and, didn't like that sort of stuff, but now I get excited about it. And I don't, it's interesting to me. It's just so incredibly interesting. It's an opportunity to go to the next level. Hi, Mommy, I see you. You're in the other room, you can come in here. This is a lot of third eye tonight. So much third eye. Wow. Oh, let me, okay. Let's help everybody see the unseen. Everybody say hi to my mom in the chat. Say hi, Barbie. She's in the chat. She's come in. That's who I was saying hi to, because she's just literally in the room. I'm like, you can come join us, Mom. You don't have to be on the live, and we will do shadow work. You can pick a card, and we'll do the shadow work, and we'll talk about the things, and we'll do it live. You don't have to be on the screen. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's so bright. Woo! Oh my God. Bring it in. Oof. Oof. I'm going to expand the crown a little bit here. This is just an ongoing thing tonight. This is the theme. Every night's had a theme. I don't. The synchronicity. Okay, so that was integration. All right, so identification. I'm doing identification. We did, that was Teresa's card. That was the identification card. So this is my card. I'm doing she had an integration card, so I'm doing the identification card. I'm making sure I do both of them to show you both. And like I said, this is going to be what I'm going to continue to do my, I'm going to be doing videos on this. I'm going to be doing these on a normal basis. I'm going to start putting out content, and I'm going to go through the whole entire deck and make sure, because during this series, I've loved that there's some questions that have come up that aren't in the Shadow Workbook journal, and I've done both the journals, the first version and the second version. So I've done both of them, and there's questions in this game that wasn't in there, which I love so incredibly much. So I'm going to go through. I'm going to start making videos. This is, I'm being called to do this. This is what I'm being called from this, because everybody's telling me they're not quite sure how to do it. So I'm going to ask myself the questions, and I'm going to answer them live for everybody, but not live. Okay, so I'm going to record videos doing it in order for people to see how to do the work and the questions, essentially. So I'm going to keep on with this. I'm going to keep going with this. This is what I'm being called to do. So identifying. This card is masking. Do you ever feel like you're wearing a mask or playing a role? Absolutely. Absolutely. There's still some masks that are not doing harm to others. There are some masks in society that necessarily you would have to wear. Okay, so we live in a government-run system. You know, I couldn't just go wild and act crazy in a store if I wanted to and not get arrested. That there would be a consequence to that. So sometimes you have to wear a mask. Sometimes to do no harm to others, or specifically to do no harm to self. A mask is just a protection mechanism. It is something that you are putting on in order to feel safe. So it is essentially, it is putting on armor. It is a mask of armor that I have to put on in order to be in society in certain things that have happened. Now, we're creating a new world, we're creating a new society, and hopefully people I don't believe that it's a higher vibration, they're going to be going wild, but in a situation where I do not feel comfortable, where there is possibly somebody following me, there is possibly somebody that is coming after me, or there is possibly somebody to do harm to me, like there, you have to wear a mask at sometimes. I do understand that. Unfortunately, in my life though, growing up, I've never wore a mask, and that was also part of my journey. I've never wore a mask, and I didn't understand the concept of wearing a mask. I didn't understand the concept of it, and I used to get ridiculed, and I used to get put down, I used to get hushed, I used to get silenced, don't talk about that. I was told I was an old soul my whole entire life through everybody I've ever known, and I was constantly being hushed. Don't say that, don't talk about that, don't do that, don't do that. And I was like, I never understood why. I was like, nobody growing up ever explained to me, why don't we talk about this? I don't understand it. I'm like, let's talk about it. And so I got myself into a lot of trouble that way. Like, I always say the things that don't want to be said. I always say the things to people and say them out loud. And it was what was harmful to me doing harm to myself. I was harming myself by keeping my mouth shut because I was literally dimming myself, caging myself, saying, oh no, okay, I won't, because I was being told to. And that was their own insecurities. We are all mirrors. We mirror each other, okay? We mirror each other in all aspects. So this mirror reflection here, they didn't want to see what was in them, that question was being asked. So it is armor. I do believe it's armor. And when you come home, that is where you can drop your armor. I do believe that your home should be where you can drop your armor, and you don't have to be. I mean, obviously we want to be nice and tactful with our spouses or our partners or whatever, and it validate their feelings. We want to validate them. We don't want to invalidate them. We're not saying that we agree with them or that they're right or any of the above, but validating them is where the healing begins. Before I got in this live, I was listening to the book, The Mountain is Me, or The Mountain is You. And it was talking about essentially that when somebody is upset, if something's going on and they have emotions coming up, right? And it's coming up in a normal way. It's coming, the ducts of that normalcy, like the normal ducts of your body, the ducts as in water flowing through your body. That is a normal reaction. That is energy in motion that needs to be processed in your body. Your body is trying to process it the only way it knows how. When it's got feelings that it doesn't know what to do, a lot of people will seek validation outside of themselves, and they will throw tantrums, and they will talk above, and they will blow things up because they want people to understand what's going on inside of them to get validation outside of themselves. That is a mask. There's a mask that's being worn. There's a big mask. Instead of looking at themselves and looking at what they need to see within themselves and why this is happening and validating their own feelings. It's a feeling is just energy in motion, emotion. All feelings are valid, all of them. It doesn't have to be rational to anybody. There is no logic behind it. Energy, emotion. You're feeling in emotion. Process it. If you don't feel valid, if your body is saying these tear ducts, these ducts as in this energy that's flowing through you, that's trying to come through you, that wants to come through you, is not clean, that is not allowed to be processed, it gets backed up and it starts to create pressure and it starts to build up in the body. And then this is where disease comes in. This is where your body starts attacking itself. This is where your body doesn't understand because there's a blockage going on. It's just trying to let it out and it doesn't know how. but you're blocking it. You've essentially blocked it. So wearing that mask harms you. Masking is not, it is needed in some situations. Like, I'm giving both sides of the coin. There is a situation where you can and have to wear a mask. You have to protect yourself. But in a situation where it's, you know, your loved ones or those that are closest to you in any sort of aspect, it is, I'm human. Okay. Okay, wait, let's try again. There we go. Yay, puzzle piece. Okay, so both are valid. Both are valid. That's both sides of the coin. I like showing both sides of the coin. Like, that's the trigger and the glimmer. The trigger and the glimmer. Like, there's both sides to all questions. Okay. Yeah, we're on Ash. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome, welcome. If you want a card, please let me know. We are doing shadow work. We are doing integration and identification. If you want a card is free. Just let me know which card you want, and I will put you on the list. Okay, Ash, we're integration. Integration. Yeah, I had to start doing the other cards because nobody wanted to do the identifying. Like, a lot, it's very rare that somebody wants to do the identifying. That's what I had to notice. That's why I'm doing the opposite of whatever anybody does, so both cards are getting pulled, because where's this meme that everybody wants to go and get they don't want to do the work. There's this meme where they're all standing in a line to get all of this instant gratification instead of changing something, and there's like one person in the line. Like, that line is completely empty, but like there's a line of like 100 people that want all this other stuff that, you know, they want to put there as a band-aid instead of actually doing the change. I agree, yeah. But I do feel like one of them is, well, and that's, okay, I love that. I'm gonna say that out loud. Like, Ash says, okay, so I feel like both are identifiers. That is why I'm doing this, is to show that they really are both identifiers. Like, I agree with you 100%. I agree that, but like, a lot of people don't see that. They don't go down the hole. They don't go down the rabbit hole and keep going into this stuff and keep going into this stuff that comes up and keep coming, like keep going. And it gets down to the core wounds of what is happening. Melissa, identifying. So that's why I was like, I'm going to do both, to show everybody everything, to show everybody how it's being done. What's going on, Ash? Nothing's coming out. It feels weird to tell you to tell your mind, to tell your body you're safe and unconditionally loved, because I get that from you. But my body lit up, so say it, yeah. My crown's lit up. Oof. Woo! There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right. I'll take the top. Oh, you got two. Two stuck together. Yeah, I could feel it. There was a little bit of resistance. Like, it's okay. You know that. I honor you. I love you. I honor the resistance. Oh, I'm sorry for that. Yeah, that's. Oh, I love these cards too. Okay, that is coming out for that, you know. Okay, so you got two cards for integration. We got integration. We got playfulness. And then the next one of integration is signs. So we're going to explore both of these with Ash. You was out all night. Oh my God. Oh, did you really? You went to Mardi Gras? You rode a float? That's amazing. I love it. So yeah, you're probably still got a little bit of armor on because you had to be around all those sort of people. Any sort of deep empath that has to go out into the world, we have to kind of block ourselves. We have to shield ourselves in all of that. I love that. Yeah, playfulness. How can you bring out playfulness to your life? So you're talking about Mardi Gras. Yeah, you got to play. So how can you bring that Mardi Gras experience to your life on a normal basis? You got to play, right? You got to play. And like, see, oh, so, you know, and that's something that I love too. Okay, so I've been doing, with modeling, the new agency that I signed with, they've got me doing, classes. Like, they've also got me, they're putting me in for auditions for acting. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Let's try it. Like, I've never acted before, but they're doing, like, acting classes. And it's bringing out the playfulness in me. Like, I get so pumped. It's at, like, 7 o'clock at night, and I'm like, oh, God, I have to stay up. Like, I'm an early, I go to bed, I wake up at, like, 5. Like, I woke up at 5 almost every day this past week, or this weekend. So I go to bed early. Like, I like to go to bed early. I like to have the day. Like, that's just how my body rolls. And so it's like, I'm staying up because I'm so excited. Like a little kid on Christmas, like, you're staying up because I get to put on a mask that isn't hurting anybody. I get to play a role that isn't harming somebody, that I get to do, that isn't, there's nothing behind it. Like, there's no malice, there's no deception, there's none of the negativity that comes with it, which usually comes with wearing a mask. Like, wearing a mask isn't necessarily bad. It can, and it is valid in different things in this life. So the playfulness in me is coming out. Like, I get to act, I get to play, I get to do things, like, I get to act like somebody else. Like, so acting is for me, the playfulness, yeah. Oh, I love that. You get to throw toys to the kiddos. I love that. Oh, I love you. Oh, that's amazing. You get to throw toys to the kiddos. That's amazing. Yeah, I know. To have clean fun. I don't know how to say that another way other than, because it's not like anything that brings joy to your life, obviously, like Bashar talks about follow your highest passion, and that is what is best for everybody. But it doesn't mean that your body is going to take you to the right place. When you're in your trauma, you will go to a place and you're not allowing your inner child, you're still masking. And that's where the negative mask comes in. You will mask and many people will go to drinking, they'll go to drugs, they will go to sex, they will go to porn, they will go to TV, they will doom scroll, they will do all the things that bring in an instant gratification, a false dopamine hit that is going to not fulfill them. Like, that's a very fulfilling experience, Ash. Like, that is, like, the best of them, because it lights you up and it fills you up. It fills up your, solar plexus. You're just like, yes, like, I just felt that saying that. It's like a very clean experience and clean, I don't think is the right word. It's the only word coming to mind right now. That is bringing out the best in you, because you're getting to do the best. Like, you're getting to do something charitable, something fun, something joyous. And it was like, you were bringing joy to the world. Like, the playfulness of it should be that. Yeah, that's the epitome of what it should be. Okay, so signs. This is the integrating card. What signs let you know your shadow self is present? Ooh, I haven't heard this one yet. I haven't got this one. The floor is yours. I will think of something. Okay, and everybody in here, you are all welcome. This is also, we pulled this card for Ash, but you are welcome to join the chat. This is a free open forum. Please talk about it. What signs let you know your shadow self is present? Oh, I love that. Yeah, Mardi Gras is full of all walks of life to come together to play and have a good time. Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what I meant by clean. Like, it's unison, like, in its best form. You're unifying many different people that may not be exactly alike. Yeah, I love that. That's maybe being afraid to be playful. Is that your elaborate? Can you elaborate, Melissa? You're saying, are you answering the question about signs? The question for signs is, what signs let you know your shadow self is present? Oh yeah, that's okay. There we go. That's confirmation for me right there. Okay. So yes, maybe being playful. Yes, exactly. That is definitely one of the things. When you are scared to be playful, there was somewhere in your life somebody told you that you couldn't play. There was a moment in your life that you couldn't play anymore. And I've kind of always been a grown up. If we are ever grown, at 8 years old, I remember having to. So I'm relating to Melissa's question. Is, being scared to be playful. Is that part of your shadow self? Yes, absolutely. At 8 years old, I realized that I was the adult. Like my mom, she worked, usually like 2 jobs. My dad didn't work. He stayed at home and he drank. He was an alcoholic. And a lot of that was hidden. You know what I'm saying? He was hiding that. A lot of that wasn't known for a long time. I mean, she always knew he drank, but she didn't know the extent of it. And this is where I got in a lot of trouble because I called him out on all this shit and I said all the things that I wasn't supposed to say, and it was like, so at 8 years old, my dad wanted to pull us all into the car. And so at 8, I've got 3 younger siblings, right? So my younger brother, he's like 5. He's like 3 years younger than me. The one below him is like a year below him. And so he's like 4 or like 3.5 or something. And the one, the youngest is an infant. And I'm like, fuck, I can barely do this alone myself. I'm like, no, you're drunk. We are not getting in the car. And I remember in that moment, I had to push him down. And in that moment, it was like, I felt like that was my first spiritual awakening. Like I had to push him back and push him down and push him out of the way. And I had to tell my daddy, as a little girl, I had to tell my daddy, no, Dad, no, we are not doing this. Like I could barely keep up with what I was dealing with, let alone getting us in the car and going and getting in an accident. Like even I knew that was a problem. So I had to be the adult from that point forward, and I wasn't allowed to be playful. That is 1000% your shadow self, not being able to be playful. Somewhere in your life, you were told, you were shown, an action and trauma happened in your life. He didn't harm me in that moment. I actually harmed him. I pushed him down, okay? But in that moment, that created trauma. That created the trauma between the little girl and the dad, and I had to become the adult. That was a trauma that happened. Nothing bad happened. I opened the door and I let my little brothers, I'm like, go play, go play. I opened the door and I told them to go play. And I took my sister and I went in the other room. And that was a trauma that happened in my life that doesn't seem like trauma, because nothing bad happened. My little brothers, they went outside and they played. They had a good day. It was a beautiful day. And nothing happened. My dad, his ego was hurt. His butt hurt. He just went in the other room and he drank and he didn't freaking think about it. But in that moment, something changed in me, and that's what trauma is. It doesn't mean that it's this massive thing that happens in your life that harms you, that physically does some physical harm to your body. It was a mentality that I wasn't safe anymore. I had to have I had to be on a swivel. I had to constantly be the one that was aware. I wasn't allowed to be playful anymore because I had to pay attention to everybody because the parental action was not doing it for me. Yeah. Present. If you are afraid, maybe the shadow stuff is fear and love are the only things there are in this world. The only they're the only emotions, that's all there is. Everything stems from the two of them. Okay, so everything is love. Love is everything. And anything else stemming from love is a version of it. And fear, everything else, all of the lower dense things are stemming from fear. Anger is literally just you're scared. Grief is literally fear. You're afraid of something. It's grief that is masking anger. There's so many different things that are stemming from fear. So being afraid, when you're scared, you're fearful. You're in a lower frequency of being. You're in the lower state of being. And in that lower state of being, you will stay down there and you will pull it down and you not necessarily know how to rise up. So yes, and this is why you explore your shadow self. You explore your shadow self. Your shadow self is showing you something. The fear is what is being shown to you. It is an action. It is a trigger that is coming up that is for you to explore, to go in within it. Any emotion that comes up in your body is your body talking to you. And that is how you do the shadow work. You see these things come up, and your body's talking to you saying, I don't like this vibration isn't good. So you feel this thing and you'll get maybe anxiety or you'll get whatever from the fear in that, right? It's not safe. You're not safe. So fight or flight goes on and your parasympathetic goes on and you are like, oh, okay, I don't know what to do. In all aspects, that is your body just telling you that you are not doing what is best and highest for you. So exploring why that comes up, going deeper into it. That is why you ask the questions. That is why, Ash was saying that these are both identifiers. They identify. Even if it is an integration card, it's an integration card. It's saying what signs let you know your shadow self is present. Yes, that is part of your shadow, and it's your body telling you this is not a good vibration. This is not where you need to be. This is not your highest and greatest timeline. You need to be on something different, and it's showing you this for you to explore, to go in deeper in order to see what needs to be healed, to heal that trauma, whatever the situation, whatever that is. And we can explore if you want. Let's explore. Go down the hole. Like I said, this is open. Like everybody it's open. You know, the floor is yours. Ashley, obviously this is your card, but everybody talk about it. If you want to explore, Melissa, let's go. Let's talk about it. Like go deeper. Like you answered a couple of them. Yes, the present. If you are afraid, yes. So you want to go deeper? Go deeper. Go deeper. Go deeper. We'll go deeper. We'll keep exploring it. We'll keep going down, and we'll keep seeing what it is and get down to it. There's something going on. Okay. On the neck, on the masculine side, on your masculine side. All right. And what I'm doing is I'm sending in healing for these things. So you may not want to explore it. Okay, love? And this is where energy healing comes in during this, is that I'm going to send in some, I'm hearing emotion, and actually remove whatever this, whatever's pulling on your neck. I feel, it's almost like a chain. That's kind of like, it's like a hook and a chain that's kind of like pulling you. Like it feels like it's like sitting right here. You know, like it's sitting right here and it's just like pulling you back, and it's on the masculine side. Like that's what I'm feeling and seeing for you, Melissa. I said my shadow self says hey, triggers are running high, etc. or I'll feel my emotions. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's send in some, yeah, this is a lot. Okay. Breathe. Well, I invite you, this is what shadow work does. I invite you to see what this has to do with. Okay, well then I'm gonna do some deep healing for this. Okay, so you both have it, so more than one. Okay, so we're gonna pull this out, but we're gonna like I'm gonna send in some healing, and like I'm gonna do some for the physical pain and the emotion, and then we're gonna do a full work and pull this out, because it's like fuck. Yeah, no, we're not keeping that. Oh, my crown just, yeah, so that was a yes. Source lit my crown up, like said yeah. Synchronizations of it. All right. Oh, that sucks, babe. Well, the masks are all dropping, Ash. I just had the same thing happen, okay? I'm validating your feeling, the stuff that are happening, and I'm sorry that's happened to you, love. It's not uncommon right now. I'm having the same thing. I'm keeping very private. I'm keeping myself very private because the people that I was speaking to, I actually did a test on it. I actually tested some people that I told some things to, and to see if they would come to fruition. And it's not that I wasn't doing what I needed to do. I was testing to see who's evil eyeing me, and even if they don't know it, I was testing them, not in a way to say, oh, I don't believe you, or I don't whatever. It was my intuition was telling me something, so I followed the intuition, and I did what I needed to do. I listened to my gut, I listened to my heart, and I listened to my brain. And so I spilled some information that I necessarily wouldn't have spoke before to see if it came to fruition. Like I sowed some seeds in somebody to see what was happening. And it didn't. Toxicity came from it. So I had to learn the lessons of that from, and then disloyalty. Yeah. These people were being disloyal to me. I had some friends that, I had a group of people that were talking about me that weren't talking to me about it, okay? And they were all part of it. And then I had some friends that were talking to the people that were talking about me. People that are talking about you, you're not being neutral at that point. If you're listening to somebody to assist them get to a different perspective, to change the perspective, to flip it, to do some healing on them, that is different. But if you were just listening to somebody complain, you were literally sitting in their shit with them. And that's okay to do. That's okay to do, to sit with somebody in their pain. But if it is something where they're tearing somebody down, where they are literally, that is showing you what is in them, it has absolutely nothing to do with me. You are keeping them meek and weak, and you are harming them by doing that. So it's like, anybody that is staying in a situation that is playing neutral, that is playing back and forth, that they are playing like, oh, well, I'm friends with you and I'm friends with you, and you don't have to pick sides. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying anybody that is in it, that isn't actively trying to assist the situation, you are causing just as much harm. You are literally doing a fawn. You are fawning. You are doing nothing. And that is a state of fear. That is a state of fight or flight or fear, or fight, flight, or fawn. Fight, flight, or fawn. So the fawn is like a deer in headlights where you don't know what to do, and it's like you're doing nothing. So, hi, baby girl. Oh, my little girl's looking at me, my kitty cat. Oh, my love. So, staying in that, like, that was something I had to come to terms with. I had to be like, okay, well, this is being disloyal to me, and being disloyal to yourself, and being disloyal to others. You're not assisting. You're actively not assisting these people. You're actively in it. I had a girlfriend, a really good girlfriend of mine. We had, I don't necessarily want to say a falling out, but like, my parenting style didn't really work out, right? She didn't like my parenting style. Like, I didn't allow her child to speak up in the aspect, like, I didn't harm him, but I spoke, I matched his voice. His volume, I matched it. And he didn't like it. He did not like it. He started crying. And I'm like, that's okay. Because I wasn't yelling at him, I wasn't putting him down, I wasn't harming him, I was matching his voice so he could visually see what was happening, what he was doing. I was matching it. And this is something that I learned in early childhood education, that as a child, somebody in the younger years, like the first 5 years of life, may not visually see what is happening. They are acting out, they're playing out. So if they visually aren't seeing what they're doing, and they don't have the awareness, they don't have the ability to be aware of the situation, then and I'm not saying I'm right, or there's a right or wrong. Like, there's no right or wrong in this. But he started crying, and she didn't like it. She didn't know how to deal with it. It became an issue, and I was like, I don't gotta be around your kids. Like, flat out, I'm not gonna allow them to dishonor you, push you down. And it became a big thing for her. She went down this rabbit hole. It was a beautiful rabbit hole, and we've mended it in all different ways. She started seeing where she was the one who was allowing these behaviors and putting her in a position, because it was the standard of what that little boy's father was normal, and she was playing that role. And this was like, she had recently got divorced, so she's still learning this stuff. So it wasn't anything bad. It was that she was learning this role of where she was harming herself by allowing this behavior to keep continuing, because we weren't harming him. We weren't saying anything bad. I didn't yell at him. We weren't putting him down. All I did is raise my voice to his level of what he was speaking. Now, we were in the car. Like, I'm going to give you the scenario. We're in the car. We're driving. We picked up the boys from school. And we're driving. She's driving. We're in freaking traffic picking up the kids. And he's screaming at the top of his lungs. So as a female that knows how to take care of children, that has done this her whole life, that was sitting in the passenger seat, I'm like, no. That's got to come down. And talked about it. I don't understand what you're saying. Can you say it differently, Ash? I said my shadow self says, hey, triggers are running high, etc. Or I will feel emotions. Like, that's how you process it? Shadow work. Like, I really do love this stuff, because it's like, look at that, like, that rabbit hole I just went down. I'm using me as an analogy. Like, it's like, it's also, it's like, it seems like squirrel brain, but it's not. I'm going down different avenues of different trauma, giving different analogies that, You know, the triggers come up for you to see them. So you can see them, so you can be aware. If you aren't aware of them, if you aren't aware of the things that are happening, the triggers come up. And when that situation happened that I was just talking about, it comes up saying you need to feel your emotions. Is that what you're saying? You're saying that you need, your triggers are high, you need to feel your emotions. It's time to sit down. Oh, I have that a lot. Okay, is that what you're saying? That's what I'm hearing you're saying. Okay, yeah, I'm getting it, yeah. Okay, so like I do that a lot. Like I will get, sources shut me down because I overanalyze and I'll logic things. I understand all this stuff. So I will get in my own way sometimes. There are some times that I will literally not feel the feels, and I have to remind myself to feel the feels. You know, or I have to push myself harder, or I have to, and I mean push myself harder, like swim more laps in the pool, to somatically move my body to get it out of my body because I'm not feeling it or processing it. So yeah, triggers are high. It's time to feel your emotions. It's time to sit down. It's time to cry it out. It's time to do it. That's the time. Yeah. Yeah, Melissa, we can do that. That's fine, love. If you have one more minute, give me 1 minute. Let me pull this hook out. Okay. This is both for you and Ash. I want you guys to do some breathing with me. We're going to do 1, 2, 3 breaths. This is how I pull energies out. I like to pull at root and stem. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3. And anybody that this resonates with, please do this too. 1, 2, 3 in through the nose. 1, 2, 3 out through the mouth. And I'm going to do it with you. And on the third time, I'm going to pull this hook out. Okay? And there may be some residue that I'll have to pull out. But, and I'll send in some healing so it's gone. Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3 in through the nose. 1, 2, 3 out through the mouth. 1, 2, 3 into the nose as much as you can. I want you to breathe in as much as you can. Fill up those lungs as much as you can. And I want you to breathe out as much as you can, pushing out as much as you can. Just all of it out. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3 in through the nose. Same thing, as much as you can in, all the way up. And then 1, 2, 3 out. And here we go. Oof. Oh. Oof. 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 Oh, that's some demonic shit. That's I shouldn't say that, but that's what it feels like when it's that deep. Like that's where I think the term demonic came from. Is like that what I just did, that growl that came out of me, that energy that got released. I feel like that's when it's depth, the deepest it goes. Like there we go. And I feel that is where that term came from, you know? Like, because it sounds like a demon. I don't know any other way to say it. It's like when you would see somebody possessed, it's like, you know, I mean, like even The Exorcist was like that. So it's like, that's where the confusion, I believe, came in with like Hollywood and stuff and started doing that, because this energy healing has been happening since the dawn of time. It's not something that happened that, you know, was just, willy-nilly. No, it happened, and it's meant to happen. Okay. All right, let me fill this in. All right, that feels better. Does that feel better, Ash? I know that Melissa left, so that could be why it feels better. But I hope that you got that, Melissa. Yeah, it feels better even just moving like back and forth, yeah. Let me just fill this in with some love though. We're gonna fill this in so it can't go back. processing. Yeah. Welcome in, Eagle. If you want a card, love, please let me know and I will pull a free card for you. We are doing shadow work. We are doing integration and identification. Oof. Oof. There's some residue. Okay, there it goes. There it goes. Oh, that feels so much better. Woo! Yeah, then I got a light. Like I felt the light shoot all the way up and out. Okay, we're gonna do identification. So I'm gonna keep going. I'm going till 7 o'clock tonight. It doesn't, like, everybody, you're welcome to stay. Anybody on the outside, you're welcome to come in. I'm going to sit and record and we're going to talk about shadow work. Good, good. That's what I need to hear. I like that. I like hearing that. Thank you. Yeah, the feedback helps. It feels a lot better. There's been a lot of grief going on in the collective. A lot of pain, a lot of grief, a lot of anger. My liver's been freaking. That's the last 2 days of integration. My liver has been killing me. Like I even got a liver detox medication, not medication, but like a tincture. Like I do an active one on a normal basis, but it literally, like, it was just painful, and I had to do some to push it out of my body, like literally, and just water. Like I haven't been doing caffeine all week. I know it was the emotions of what's happening in the collective because I haven't even done caffeine. I haven't done anything to harm my liver at all. Yeah, a lot of hate. Yeah, it's like we're shining so damn bright that we're fucking blinding motherfuckers, and I'm like excited for it. Like blinding motherfucker, good. Like good. See this shit. Like. Oh god, it lights me up. It gets me so fucking excited. Like I know I'm triggering a lot of freaking people, and I'm okay with it. Like, do it. Let's do the damn thing. Like it's time. It is time. We're here. It is time. Okay. Pressure identification card. We've got self pressure. You know, a lot of people have backed off. Hating on me. I'm getting a lot of flack. Like a lot of energy being sent to me, Evil Eye, from talking about the things that I'm talking about in this stuff and going over it. Like, there's also a narcissistic timeline that's collapsing that I keep hearing about in the collective. Like, I keep hearing about it from astrologers and whatnot. But it's also what I'm feeling. It's that narcissistic timeline that is ending, and so that narcissistic traits are coming up. So because they need to dissipate. Like, what I keep hearing is that we're behind that glass wall that Bashar was talking about, that eventually that split, because the split is official. Like it's everybody is, there's kind of a split. Those that aren't going to ascend, that don't want to ascend, that isn't, it doesn't mean that they don't want to. It just means that it is not their time to do it yet. Hi, Leo. You want to say hi? You're trying to say hi? Say hi, buddy. There's a lot of third eye stuff happening. But we're behind that glass wall, and like I am feeling the cords, like that I am cutting, like the cords that I'm feeling and seeing, and it's my heart total is just it's that the total of my heart is just insane. Like it's I'm attracting in, I'm magnetizing in what is meant for me, and what isn't is going. So there's so much hate and anger and grief that is coming up from these old selves, our old selves that don't want to see this stuff, that aren't willing to look at this stuff. But it needs to come up because we can't hold it anymore. I'm hearing the same things. Like I went into a couple of lives last night, and I came on and I talked about it, that, you know, we're here, we're officially here. Like we were already there, you know, I mean, our consciousness, we're already up in these higher realms. Yes, like, you know, 15D, you know, 14D, stuff like that. Like those are probably the highest that I feel that I go. Not that I can't go higher, but I'm saying that those right there, up there. But the gunk, the stuff that's holding us down, there's this gunk that's coming to the surface because it's got to go. It's not coming, and it's still got to go. It's still got to go. There's this. It's like the residue, like the cobwebs of it, like of what we've addressed, but we didn't pull out the depth of it. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get in every single corner because we can't see it. We're unaware of it. And that's what shadow work is about. Like, that's, like, I love that I was divinely orchestrated to do shadow work this week. And that I didn't know the planetary alignment was going to come up like this. Like, it was really beautiful how, like, spirit-led I was that told me to do this, to do the shadow work. Like, I've been being called to do it for so long, but to show it, to visually start showing people so they can start doing it, because they've made a conscious choice and they're in it and they're doing it. And, like, there's also these torals that are coming online, these heart torals that are coming online, that's creating hate and shame and guilt and fear because, how do I put my words to this? So, angels are finding angels, okay? Like, that's what I'm getting. I posted something on the Schumann resonance. Like, angels are finding angels because they're coming online. Like, we're activating each other at an extensive rate right now that those that are doing the work, we're literally just activating and stepping up and up and up and up and up and up. And it's like, that's what I feel like is happening. It's up and up and up and up and up. It's like, we've been talking about all this stuff, but I feel like, me personally, this is what I feel. I feel like I'm in the ocean and I'm on that wave and I can't go back anymore. You know, that wave is I'm just being pushed. And so it's that, the resistance of maybe the density of the carbon-based, the carbon that's still in us, the carbon-based structure, the DNA structure that's in us. But, like, I just keep moving. Like, and I have to stay in this perpetual state of going. Like, I physically cannot stay stagnant anymore. Like, I can stay stagnant and, like, rest when my body needs rest. I rest, I sleep, I do all that because I'm listening to my body and I'm honoring it. But in my mind, the activities that I'm doing, I cannot stay stagnant. It will not happen. If I stay stagnant, I get a fog. I'm literally seeing in real time when I don't do the work, when I'm not doing the work on myself, and I'm not doing the things, it's taking a toll on my body. It's taking a toll, and I see it so viscerally now that it's just like, it's like second nature now. Like, I'm just seeing it. Like, it's also very beautiful to see it, though. It's like, at this time, I've done the work enough where it's become my default, where I'm seeing it, where I can see it happening, and it's my default where I can see it happening. Okay, so the card that I got identifying is self-pressure. When are you hardest on yourself? When I sleep. When I spent, for me personally, because I spent my 20s and 30s bedridden, you know, sick, very, very sick, unable to figure out what was wrong with me, you know, went to all the doctors in my marriage. We went to all the doctors. We spent 10 years, you know, trying to figure out what was wrong with me. And I was also, in that same aspect, it was a burden and a shame and something that was put on my shoulders because my ex-husband is a PA. Because I was he couldn't get success with me. He did in every other aspect prior, but when he came back with trauma, right? He came back from war. All right, let me back up. So when he was at war, he knew everything that was wrong with me because we were so in tune prior. When he came back from war with PTSD, from seeing all the things that he saw, from the dead bodies, from the people that, like, the trauma that had been put on him and whatnot, he came back in a trauma place. He was not able to be in tune with his intuition and his knowledge. Like, he's in another freaking country, you know what I'm saying, so far away from me. And the doctors that are studying me here in the 3D realm that are right here, that I'm going to see doctors every day, they couldn't figure out what's wrong with me, but he could figure out what's wrong with me. Like, we had a very good soul connection at first, but his trauma took him back to a place of narcissism, which is his parents. Like, he at one point had rotated out of it and chose to not have them in his life. And he didn't understand that. And I didn't understand that. At the moment, I'm the one who pressed him to be in his family's life. I'm the one who put them back in his life. I'm like, well, why would you not want that? Because of the familiarity and the loyalty that I was told that, you know what I'm saying, that blood is thicker than water. You know what I'm saying? And it's like staying loyal to freaking people that aren't doing anything for you, that are just harming you. And when he came back, because of the trauma, he stayed in a place of, like, he regressed back to his old. He couldn't remember anything of us. Like, he couldn't remember our life. He couldn't remember our courting, our dating, all the different things. Integration card drew, absolutely, love. Okay, so we got you right here, babe. So he couldn't remember all the things, and that was because the trauma had been encapsulated around. And so all the good memories that were there, that trauma, all the good stuff, our whole entire relationship, our whole courting, our whole everything was encapsulated, and he couldn't remember it. So he couldn't see the joy. this is what I keep talking about, is that you look at the trauma and you see the trauma to allow the joy in. It's not to harp on the trauma. It's looking at the trigger to see the glimmer. It's looking at the trigger to see the glimmer. Because all of the glimmers, when you numb something, which trauma is, we're in subconsciously still numbing something. When you numb one thing, when you're not feeling one, you're not feeling the other also. When you're numbing whatever the pain is, you are also numbing the love that is trying to get to you. So that is where that perpetual state of hell stays. So that was a pressure that was put on me because we couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I had no knowledge, but that was also part of my mission. That was my gladiator arena. That's where I went down and I had to see, and I had to go down and look at, oh, this is for me. I have to figure this out. I have to find out what's wrong with me. Going outside of myself was the downfall. Going outside of myself, trying to find somebody else to do it until I took radical responsibility for myself and my body and how to do it. The holistic route that I went down, trying to figure out all the gut issues, all the different things that, like Western medicine failed me. So I had to go down. I went down a rabbit hole. Dr. Josh Axe. I started looking at his books and I started looking at all the holistic parts of it and how to get your gut right and how to get when I got my gut right, I got my heart right. When I got my heart right, I got the brain axis of the two and the fog started going away. So it's 3 centers that are needed. Okay. Integration. Well, I have this card sitting to the side, Drew. I don't know why I have this card, but I think that I will shuffle for you and then I'll do this one. Because this is, I don't know why this card is sitting here. I don't know how I got here. It's boundaries. I'm going to do this one and then I'm going to pull your card first and then I'm going to do this one. Okay. Okay, so you've got affirmation 1, Drew. This is integration, and we're doing affirmations. I may end it with this. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. So I like these affirmation ones because I like to call them out, and then I'm going to go through all of the chakras and say the affirming. This is what I did with my last live. I want to go through and talk about these to say them out loud. So that way we're going through the whole chakra of everybody and everything in that aspect. Okay, so the one that I got, the other integration card I got is boundaries. Boundaries. This is an integration card. We're going to do yours next, Drew. We're going to do the repeat of that. I don't know where you went, my love, but I'm going to wait till you get back in here, Drew. Okay, so boundaries. Do you set boundaries for yourself? If not, where do you see the need to? Fuck, in my relationships. Damn, like I have boundaries and standards and they're boundaries not for the other person. Okay, boundaries are like, here's an analogy. Okay, so what boundaries are is instead of putting a fence around you and not letting anybody in your heart, it's like showing them the door and telling them, this is the door, this is how you get in. So it's allowing people into your heart in a safe way that you are protected, where they are not harming you and they are not harming themselves and they are not harming the relationship and you are not keeping them weak and meek. In a situation where somebody is doing you harm, even if they don't know they're doing it, you are keeping them weak. When you are keeping them in a state of stagnancy where they are not making the change in themselves, they are staying stagnant, they are not evolving, they are not growing, they are not elevating. When they are not elevating and you are accommodating to it, you are harming them. There are some situations, yes, where you want to be accommodating, but if it is a perpetual pattern that is continually over and over and over again that is happening where they are literally doing self-harm, it is not your responsibility to do that for them, but it is your responsibility to do it for you, and that's what boundaries are for. When to do no harm to others or to do no harm to self. When you are being harmed because of somebody's actions outside of you, you have to put your boundaries in order to protect yourself. As an empath, that's a huge thing. That's a huge freaking thing. Like to put my boundaries in because I can understand all the shit. I see all the shit. And then studying the psychology, I see all the shit. I see why people are doing the things and I understand it and I see the trauma and it's like, I just want to help, but it's not my responsibility. They have to step up and want to do that. They have to want the healing. They have to want to implement the healing in them. So my boundaries have to be firm like that, like completely 100% firm. Anybody else? Boundaries? The floor is yours. If not, we will go to the repick card. And I'll probably end the live. That's 2 hours. So I'm going to send in some energy to assist with us in our boundaries, to see where we can become stronger in our boundaries. Where can we become firm in our boundaries? And my crown just lit up when I said that. Hey, George. Okay, yeah, this is quantum. Oh, yeah, I need to put some quantum energy here. Okay. You're firm? That sounds like a personal problem, George. It's your fucking mind. That was you. That wasn't even me. That was you. Where did that come from? That was so you. It's not a problem. I don't see it as a problem either, but that was the words that came to mind. I literally, no filter, just fucking said it. Only you, George. Jesus Christ. Oh, it's not a personal problem. That's a positive thing. I know, like when guys tell me that, like, you know, oh my God, like that's what's coming up. You know, I'm like, sorry, not sorry at all. Like, I'm not sorry for that. Like, you're having that visceral reaction from me. Like, okay, yeah, good. That's a good thing. That's a good sign. That's your body telling you that this is the good thing. This is a good thing for you to flow with. Like, listen to your body. So. Okay, we need to. All right, yeah. I'm gonna send in some for boundaries, to firm up our boundaries. And I love that this is why this card came up. I know this is why this card's sitting here. It's wild that it's the only card. Everything happens for a reason. I need to firm up my own boundaries. So I'm sitting in healing for my own boundaries, to stand firm in my own boundaries. There we go. Oh my goodness. There we go. Woo! Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. I know, good Lord, right? I know, right? Well, I told you I need to do in my own boundaries. Like, I need to firm up my own boundaries. So, yeah, the Lord is good. Good Lord, I know. I know, but I honor it. You're welcome. You are so incredibly welcome. I do not apologize for burping anymore. That was something that kept me in a cage. Burping is me processing. I am literally clearing energy out. And the energy's deep, like right now. It's so thick. It's so thick. There's so much happening. Like, I'm processing so much. My body is processing so much. Okay, we're going to do the repeat card. So this is Drew card. Do you want a card, George? Do you want me to pull a card for you? We're doing integration or identification. You pick a card. Okay, integration. And this is a repeat card. We're going to repeat this affirmation. This is coming up for Drew. So do you want integration or do you want identification? And we're going to do, so everybody in here, I suggest you do this also. So repeat after me. Either say it out loud or say it in your mind, but in any way just say this, and I'm going to say it 3 times, and so it is, so that way it's literally affirming in our body. So this is saying, repeat, I am worthy and deserving of love and acceptance just as I am. I am that I am. Abso-fucking-lutely. Okay, we're going to do this 2 more times. I am worthy and deserving of love and acceptance just as I am. Radical acceptance starts the moment you become aware and look at all of you and love all of you, because that's where you can start implementing change. Until you know there's an issue, until you know there's something on the underline, you cannot address it. You cannot do anything about it. So becoming radically accepting of yourself and the things that you've done, and know that they are not done out of malice. They are not done out of harm. You are not trying to harm anybody. Grace and ease on yourself. You have to give grace and ease on you. You have to look at you and say, I'm not trying to harm anybody. Why am I doing this? But you can hurt people. You can do things. Your actions can harm others because of your own trauma. Your trauma will harm others. To do no harm is the epitome of it. I'm going to do one more time. I am worthy and deserving of love and acceptance just as I am. I am that I am, and so it is. Okay, we're going to do, we got, you wanted identification. Okay. Whew. Thank you for sharing the live, George. Thank you for everybody sharing the live. Double taps. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Oof. Oof. You got a whole stack. I'm not doing the whole stack. What is that about? What are you not looking at, George? I'm going to freaking give you a hard time. Okay. Envy. Ooh. Okay. So identification. Envy. The floor is yours. If you don't want to talk about this, George, you don't have to. I will be open. Okay. Envy. Is there a certain person you envy? When do you catch yourself being jealous, and why? I don't want to be anybody else. So the floor is yours, George, but I will answer this. I don't feel that I want to be anybody else. I don't want to take on the trauma that that person had to go through to become who they are. A lot of people will attach envy, and I don't want to say that I don't envy, because it is a normal reaction. It is just a normal thing. Like, this isn't something to be demonized. It is not a demon sort of thing. Envy is just something that comes up, but I do not. Okay, so I'll lie. Okay, so maybe that is a lie. So I don't envy one person, but I know that I want a bigger ass, but I know that I have to do that. I know that I'm the one who has to do the work. Like, I have to work on my ass. I have to work on my apple ass. I know that it's repetitive action that I have to do in order to do that. I know I need to work on my arms. Like, I want to work on my arms. So when I see sculpted, those are sculpted, I can maybe envy that, but I don't see jealous. Like, jealousy to me is the opposite. Jealousy to me is not, because I honor the triggers and I love it. I see it as a glimmer. I see it as, that's me. Oh, that's me. See, when I see something, like when jealousy from that emotion, this has become my default. When the default comes up, when I see somebody and I see jealousy, I immediately see the glimmer. It's become my default because I've done the shadow work on myself and I've integrated all of the jealousy and maybe envy. And I'm not saying you ever heal. I'm not saying you're completely healed. You are never fully healed. And there will be other things in life that I will see that maybe I will get jealous of. But at this moment in time in my life, hey Kelly, welcome in, love. You want a card? We're doing identifying and integration. We're doing shadow work. So when I see somebody that I honor it. Like, I'll be like, I love your ass. Your ass is fucking beautiful. It's looking great. You know, when I see a woman that's like sculpted, like her arms are freaking like built, like, I'm like, damn woman, get it. Like, and I tell her, see, that's the thing. It's like, when you're jealous, you don't say something. You don't honor, I honor the glimmer. The moment I feel jealousy is the moment that I say something to them. It's like showing gratitude, and this has become my default. This is what it's become. I see the things in them and I show that and I say that because I honor them. I honor them for showing me as a mirror. They are mirroring to me what I want or what I want to be, and that's my future. I see jealousy as, you're jealous of somebody. Well, that just means that you're searing your future. That is your self if you do the change. That is your possibility of being if you do the work on yourself. If you're willing to do the work, you will see it. And see, that's like an outside thing for me. I mean, I've been working on the inside, you know, which has brought out the beauty in on my outside. But I know that there are some places that I can do work. And that's why. It's because I know I need to do the work myself, that I need to implement the discipline and the plan to do it. I have not set up a plan to do it. Like, I do my yoga, and I know I need to bring the bands out. Since I moved, I haven't brought out my exercise bands. And there's exercise bands down in the gym down here, and it's like, so I just haven't implemented them in. And I need to learn how to use the machines here, because I haven't learned how to use machines. Like, I have done the elliptical and I've done the treadmill, but like, I haven't done the lifting machines, and they have all the bands on there, and they have all the weights, and they have all the things. Like, I could be working on my arms. They don't have like dead weights, but like you know, like regular weights that I could be doing while I'm freaking on the treadmill, while I'm whatever. So why? Because I'm not doing the work myself. That's why. That would be why. It's because I am not doing the work myself. That would be why I'm envious of it, is because of that. And that is something that I need to change. That has absolutely nothing to do with that other person outside of me. That is literally a mirror. You are seeing something that you want, that you can have, that is beautiful. Desires are beautiful. Our wanting is beautiful. And the jealousy is a beautiful and natural thing. It is literally just searing things. You envy seers. And then I remember I channel anything I need, and that's my gift. Absolutely. Your specific gift is unique to you in your unique pattern. So try and remember, like what I just said. In that moment of envy, try and look at it like this. Try and look at the glimmer of it. The specific traumas I've had in my life as George are happening to me in order for me to channel. If I wanted to be a seer, I would have had to have all of their trauma in order for that to happen. I believe that I'm a seer and an oracle because all of my trauma. And it was something that was in me. I was molested when I was younger. I don't know by who. I have no fucking idea, but I know it was there. I know the healing was done on me. I know it came out. I know that I was very sexually overactive when I was very, very young. Very, very fucking young. So it means it happened when I was very, very young. All of the psychology classes that I went to, all of them, they show you how to unconsciously find out if you've been molested in some sort of way. And all of the classes, like, I tested as molested, and I'm like, but I don't remember it. Like, I don't understand it. Like, I don't remember it. And then in everybody I've come around, like, and then in energy healers, you know what I'm saying? It got healed. It was something, it was a big black cloud that was there, and it was my mind that was blocking it. Like I was talking about with PTSD. So a traumatic event, your mind, to protect you, will encapsulate it. Because it's protecting you. It doesn't want you to see the things. You have to be the one to do the work, to do the digging, to see. You have to dig in that freaking hole to see what it is in order to let in the love and the joy and the happiness that is also around it. Because when you encapsulate the pain, you're also encapsulating the joy and the love and all of that. So I know that it's part of it. It was also part of it for me to recluse and to be caged. I know that Source wanted me to come on light during this moment. He wanted my light to be as brightest at this freaking moment. I am supposed to shine in this moment. I am on mission. I am on my purpose and my passion and my highest and greatest timeline because of the trauma that happened in my life. And what was it, like back in Greece? They would take virgins and they would, that they were like the oracles. Like, I believe that my powers became stronger when I went down the abstinent route and the celibacy route and didn't allow anybody to touch my body. And it took a very long time before I got to a place within myself, within my own body, before I became comfortable with the idea of even letting somebody else touch my body, because I didn't want to pass on my pain to somebody else. Anything that I wasn't dealing with, I wanted to take radical responsibility for. It was something that I needed to do. I needed to look at, and I needed to see that stuff. And I know that there's trauma in there that would have got passed down. And then I do want kids one day, so I don't want to pass that trauma on to them. So that was what was vital to me. It's like, it gave me purpose to understand why I'm doing the work that I'm doing on myself, is so I'm not passing it down to them. Oh, you hungry, buddy? You hungry? Kelly, what card did you say you wanted, my love? Mommy, do you want to give them a dinner date? Kelly, did you want a card, my love? Did you say? I don't see you here saying anything. Do you want an identification card or a integration card? I have to do dinner dates with my kitty cat. So I have a new kitty cat, guys. And guys and gals. And so to get them to integrate, right, we have to do, it's called the dinner date. So I'm giving them web food, and on both sides, we have to do it on both sides of the door, so that way they can smell each other and they're eating, you know, because they go into their feed and breed sort of state of being. So that way they're in a comfort, they're sympathetic, their parasympathetic system heals and it allows it in, and they are just getting closer and closer. Like it's working so incredibly well. What do you want, bud? What's up? You want food? Leo's a new guy. He's just a little guy. Come here. You want to say hi? Oh my God! Come here, bud. Can you say hi to everybody? Come here. I'm gonna say hi. You wanna say hi? This is a new guy. He's a little angel. He's a little angel. Say hello. This is Leo. He came to me on the Leo moon. Say hello. He's hello. He's just this big sweet boy. He's this big sweet boy that keeps humping my leg. He's going to get his balls chopped up in the morning. Okay, so 2 plates, and then I'll help you. Okay, guys. Let me help my mom. Give me a minute. Give me a minute, Kelly, and we'll do your card. Okay. Well, I have to do it on both sides of the door. Okay. So you guys are gonna hear the yelling. Okay, listen to the yelling. Cute. He is the sweet. Ed! None of that. None. There. You little buttheads. Okay, so you go to one side and I do. I'll be right back, guys. Okay, give me his plate. Give me his plate. Okay, do that. Put it closest to the door. Okay, here we go. Here, right here. Thank you, Mom. Sorry, guys. Gotta take care of the kiddos. Take care of the kiddos. He is the sweetest thing. He's the sweetest little boy. Sweetest little boy. Integration. Is that what you said? Yes, integration. Okay. So integration is going to be my last card if nobody else wants a card. Heather, you're still in here? Do you want a card, my love? Shit! That came out quick. Ooh, my God. Wow. Oh, I love this for you, Kelly. Okay. This is an integration card, and it's acceptance. How can you practice accepting yourself? The floor is yours, my love. If you do not want to talk about anything, you do not. If you want to, this is an open, safe forum. This is a safe place. You can talk about it. You can talk about what you feel you could be accepting more of yourself, and we will go down that rabbit hole. We'll go down it together. Otherwise, I will say, I will pull up something and I will talk about something that will take us down that rabbit hole. Yeah, he's the cutest little guy. Okay, so acceptance. How can you practice accepting yourself? And everybody in the chat, this is an open forum. This is for everybody. This card is for Kelly, but if you want to answer, feel free to answer. You are welcome to answer and talk about it. It's an open forum to talk about. Okay, which one do you want? You want integration or identification? Acceptance of all parts of myself. You want to elaborate? Because I'm going to send in healing. I'm going to send in healing here. So let's go deeper. Let's go deeper into that. What parts do you feel need to be accepted? Identification. I got you, Heather. I'll agree with that. So what parts of myself that I need to accept that I don't stay up late anymore. That's part of something. Like I kind of, like I get comments all the time. Like I don't want to. People try to shame me, and I'm like, no, I love my life. I love life. I don't need to stay up into the late hours. If I am enjoying myself, of course I will. I'm not saying that I won't stay up until the late hours, or whatever. Especially when I'm with somebody, in a different way. But pressuring me to do that isn't you're forcing me to stay in a place because you don't want to be alone to look at yourself. Like I go to bed early. I like going to bed early. Like I'm up late. Like I like going to bed early. I like getting up early. It is my thing. It is just my freaking thing. It is something that I have integrated. I like to wake up early. I like to work out. I like to do it in the sun. I like to do my exercise in the sun. I like to do my yoga first thing in the morning. I like to do the breath work first thing in the morning. I like to get that natural dopamine first light, First thing, I have the sun coming on me. I want that natural dopamine, that natural serotonin, that natural thing to light me up. I'm doing my breath work. I'm doing it. So I'm filling my body with the oxytocin so I can have a beautiful day. And I don't see anything wrong with that. And so when people shame me for not staying up late or whatever, I'm like, you're literally asking me to harm myself. You're literally asking me to do something that isn't. Like, if I am making the conscious decision to do that, that's fine. Leo thinks he's part of the live now. He is just literally tearing everything up. Come on, bud. Come on. Come on, bud. Poor little guy. You haven't done the Thai sun yet? What is it? I don't know what that is, George. What are you talking about? Heather says, exactly. Things don't have to be black and white. Yeah, exactly. It's what resonates with you. Your body will tell you when you're in tune with your gut, when you're in tune with your heart, when you're in tune up here, and you got your clarity, it's not a fog, a brain fog. You know what I'm saying? That's why all of this matters. Oh, you haven't done the sun yet. Done it in the sun yet. Gotcha. I don't have a lot of sun coming in here in the windows. I've had to start going downstairs and doing it. I don't know how that works. Like how this, because it's, I guess that makes sense because it comes in the west, right? And I'm more east, obviously. I can't type. Yes, you can type it. No, I just was playing. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Hi, bud. Hi, bud. He wants to be part of this. Okay, anybody else? Anybody else? Acceptance. How can you practice accepting yourself? The floor is yours. I accept my wants and desires and what I love in my life. That is part of it. Accepting what is good for me and honoring that and my self-care is important. I don't need somebody else to do that for me. I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing all the self-care. I do my own nails. I do my hair. I do the skin routine. I do the things. And if you don't do the thing, and that's not for everybody. Like, this is my stuff. This is like part of my feminine stuff that makes me feel good, that I like doing. I work out because of the way it makes me feel. I don't do it because of my body, even though I want a bigger ass, even though I want, I want better arms. Like, I don't do it for that. I do it because of the way it makes me feel. It doesn't mean I don't desire the other things. You can have both. You can have both. But my self-care, my self-practices do need to be amplified. And so that's acceptance of myself. I know that if I want those things, I have to implement them. I have to put the discipline to do that. I have to put that in. I didn't like my back for the longest time, and I implemented my back. I really worked on my back, and now my back is stronger. It's a lot stronger. I wanted a stronger back, and it was really important to me. It was very freaking important to me. And then it also, and I'm just talking about kind of the outside. When I worked on my back, it was like my boobs got bigger, because they weren't rolling, because our boobs are kind of like, they're fat that's in your body, but they couldn't roll behind me, because like when women lay down, like they roll to the sides, and it's like, so when I worked in my back and it was just straight muscle, like then it perked up another part of me. So it's the acceptance of whatever is needed will amplify and take you to your highest and greatest timeline, your highest and greatest body, your highest and greatest life, your highest and greatest you in all aspects. Like, the things that are coming up that you are not looking at, that you don't want to look at, that you're not accepting, they're showing up for you to show you how it's going to get you to your highest and greatest timeline. Now, I am speaking about stuff on the outside, which kind of freaking sucks, but it doesn't mean that it wasn't taking me to my highest and greatest timeline. It's something that I personally on my body needed to do, that I needed to work on. I'm just showing you the thing I needed to do and what I did, and that the outcome, like the glimmer and the gratitude and the things that I have, that like I got something above and beyond what I wanted. All I wanted to do was work on my back, but then it amplified the front of me. So, it's just kind of, everything is showing up for you to see it, for you to do something. It's not coming up by coincidence. It's not coming up just to willy-nilly to implement jealousy or to have envy. It's not coming up for that. It's coming up for you to see it, to see where you're not taking the actions to put that in your life, because it is something that you want to do. It's something you need to do. And when you stay in the lower vibrational state of being and you stay down here and you think negative about that person or whatever it is, you're just thinking negative about you. It has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you, because everything is a reflection. We are mirrors. We're mirroring it. So whatever I'm seeing in somebody else is something that I see in me that is a possibility that I can do. So until you take the action, until you accept yourself, the practice that you need to do is calling out these things. You need to call out the little things. Like, that is why I'm talking about the basic things. These are basic things. These are surface level things. I'm not really a surface level person, but I'm talking about the basic surface level, something that just came to mind like right away that I'm talking about that I became aware of so I can make the change. If you want change, you have to do it. Nobody can do it for you. You have to implement the change. You have to do the things. Anything you're not changing, you're choosing. Okay, Heather, we got identification. There's no more. You got all your food. I know, you are just a talking. He's a tabby, and he is just like the most vocal little guy. Hi, bud. Oh, you liked that one, huh? Mom, you have to remember what that one is. He liked that. Identification. Okay. We're going to shuffle for Heather. Holy fuck, Heather. Wow. I got one that stopped right here, though. That's a whole lot. To me, that intuitively is saying, we gotta dive. We gotta dive in, my love. Okay. This is an identification card. And that is not judgment. I am not judging you. That is saying, let's do the damn thing. Like, let's do it together. We'll do it. So this is no fears. If you had no doubts, no worries, or fears of the unknown, what would you do? What would you do if you weren't afraid? Oh, this is a really good one, guys. I invite everybody to talk about this. Like, this is not a question that I have been asked before. If you had no doubts, no worries, or fears of the unknown, what would you do? What would you do if you weren't afraid? I don't know if I'm afraid. I have been skydiving, but I've only done it a couple times. I want to get to the point, I think you have to do it 7 times in order to do a solo. I want to get to a solo. When I started getting really sick, disease in my body, dis-ease, when I stopped being very active, when I started my light, my life force energy, when everything was being sucked out of me, which I was also doing myself. I'm not blaming anybody outside of me. I'm blaming myself. I was doing that to me. I took my own power away, and I couldn't do the things that brought me joy. So one thing that I want to do is I want to do a solo skydive. But you can't do that until you've done the 7. So maybe I'm scared to accept this part of me that has done this, that has got to this point, that has allowed it, that has, maybe there's a part of me that's still holding on to the past. I mean, even doing all the shadow work, even doing all the things, even implementing it, doesn't mean that you still don't have things that are holding you back. And that's what the shadow work's about. To do it, to look at it, to see the unknown, to explore the rabbit hole of why. So maybe what's another one? If I had no doubts or worries or no fears of the unknown, what would you do? What would you do if you weren't afraid? I'm not really scared. I really don't. Like, I don't fear death, anything. When I got the sickest before, like the disease in my body, disease took over. I became one with God. You know, like, my first spiritual awakening was in 2018, Marianne Williamson. And she literally was the only one that brought peace to me when I listened to her book, Return to Love. It literally brought me peace. I listened to it on repeat. I didn't even know what I was doing at the moment. I recently just listened to it again, and I'm like, holy fuck, that's like literally everything that I freaking teach and I guide and I feel at the core of my soul. And it was like, that book divinely came to me. It was divinely orchestrated. And I didn't understand why it brought me peace. And it's like, because I was seeing what was unseen. She talks about all the stuff that isn't really seen. And I don't know where I was going with that. I lost my train of thought. What was I saying, guys? I don't know what I'm saying. I'm getting tired. It's 7:17. That's my birthday. What would you do if you weren't afraid? I probably would have left my ex-husband sooner. I'm probably, so here's something. So, I have been questioning lately, am I emotionally unavailable? And I've had to self-check, you know, like, I'm dating, I'm on dating websites, and like, I'm talking to different guys, and in talking to these different guys, I'm like, trying to understand the one that I'm magnetizing in. Like I'm magnetizing in the ones that are protective, that are there, but they may still have to do work on themselves. So, and that has to be their choice. That has to be their conscious decision. But I look at it like, well, I'm attracting this in, emotionally unavailable. Am I emotionally unavailable? It has to be me. So if I wasn't scared to get hurt again, maybe I would attract somebody, or I would entertain somebody that wasn't. This is something that I have to look into myself. I'm constantly checking myself. Like, am I trying to trauma bond? Like, I refuse to trauma bond with somebody. I will not trauma bond if it is not healthy. So if it is something that is coming up, I'm like, when something comes up, I have to check myself on a normal basis. And this is something I have been questioning for like the past 2 days. Like, am I emotionally unavailable? And then I'll have to go down the rabbit hole, like, of whatever's happening, like, who am I talking to? Why am I talking to him? And I'm like, and then I tell myself, it's not me telling myself, it's intuitively, where I'm intuitively saying, oh no, this is why. And, but I'm looking at it. I'm still looking at it. Like, am I the reason? I had a girlfriend that came to me, that talked to me, that was saying that she did some, she was on a date, and the guy was like, oh, let's go get our tarot read. They would just walk by it, and he was like, let's do this. And so they did. And the woman tried, she was kind of a scam artist. She was trying to like sell her all this stuff and told her, she was like, you will never find love unless you buy these candles. And it was like, no, she was just trying to sell something. It wasn't like, this is a woman I know, like, and it's like, she's got some heart chakra blockages, and that's from her getting hurt, and her blocking herself and guarding herself in that same sort of thing. So it's literally, she came to me and asked me about it, and I'm like, no, but I do invite you to go in deeper and to take a look and see, where are you not allowing the love in? Where are you not loving yourself? Like, if you are not attracting in that, what you want, essentially, where in you and why is that coming into your life? And I know everybody's like over the love talk and stuff like that, but like, we have hit the frequency of love, like, in this beautiful aspect. So if I wasn't afraid, maybe I would be in a loving relationship. But then I'm just being open and vulnerable with you guys, like, I just am exploring it with you. Like, I'm being open and vulnerable and talking about something that is actively happening in my life right now in this moment, because I'm exploring it, and because I'm willing to be aware of it and look at it and see it. I can self-check. I can recognize, oh no, I am not doing that. I am doing the good things, and my body's telling me and talking to me about what is happening. For me, I would have no experiences on my own, be more vulnerable, and spend money without knowing. Can you elaborate? For me, I would have more experiences on my own. That's beautiful. So where, I invite you in that aspect, what are you scared of? This question is just the hole in the ground. We're going to go down the rabbit hole. Okay, that's what shadow work is. We're going down the rabbit hole. Okay, so down the rabbit hole is, you would have more experiences on your own. What are you afraid of that is keeping you from having more experiences on your own? Be more vulnerable. What are you afraid of that is not allowing you to be more vulnerable? Spend money without knowing. I don't know what that means. I don't know if you can do that. And that could be my own wounding. That could be my own wounding, because I am so self-aware of that. You know what I'm saying? Because I am, trying to retire my mom. I want it where she doesn't have to work all the time. I want to take care of all the different things, and it's not my responsibility. It's not something I have to do, but it's something that I'm implementing, and that is becoming aware to me all the time, all the things I need to do to perpetuate. Like, I'm taking action to do that. I've got a plan in action. I'm doing the things. I'm doing the work. I'm putting the action steps in the process. I'm opening businesses. I'm starting things. I'm doing all the things. I'm doing all the right work. I'm applying for all the things. I'm doing all the things. But I do know that that's something I don't have the privilege of doing right now. And I don't even know why I say privilege, because money is a frequency thing. It's a frequency that you allow in. Drew, you said I would have moved after high school. Oh my God, I did that. Yeah, it was the best fucking thing I ever did in my life. At 18, I moved to Daytona Beach, and I was doing a lot of drugs. I was hanging out with the wrong people, and I was going nowhere in life. And I left and went to Daytona Beach, Florida, and I lived on my own. Well, I didn't live on my own. I moved in with my aunt. Okay, I moved in with my aunt. And that became its own little freaking unison of trauma and all that sort of stuff I had to go on. But leaving my hometown and leaving all the people I knew and starting fresh was a huge thing for me. It altered everything, and it literally took me out of my comfort zone, whether I liked it or not. There you go, drummer. My voice is kind of gone. My throat's kind of gone. Maybe I should be doing it. All right. Let's send in some healing for this. And then I'm going to end the live. I'm going to send in some healing for the fear, and then we're going to go. I'm going to send in some forgiveness and some emotion. Oof, I can already feel that coming up. Make sure you guys are drinking water. Okay, I'm drinking water. Salt, hydrating. Hi, Miss Kim. If you want a card, I will pull a card for you too. We can do a card and we'll do healing on that. I will say, the latest I'll say is 8. I have to get up in the morning and take little man to go get his balls chopped off. It's okay, love. You're never late. You are right on time. You are right on time. Everything is happening for you. It is happening in the moment when you need it, honey. You are never late. You are exactly where you need to be in this very moment. Oh, here we go. Make sure you guys are breathing in through your nose, out through the mouth. Fuck. Let the demons out. Let the demons out. You are welcome. Okay. Okay. A little more. I'm going to send in some forgiveness here. Let's alleviate the fears. We're letting go of all conditioned love. Woof! Ah, this one's heavy. Wow. Oh my God. No fears. This is for no fears. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. I'm sorry I have prior obligations, drummer. Did you want a card too? If you don't want a card, I'm going to end the live. Drummer, do you want a card? I'm doing shadow work, love. You are welcome for a card. Okay. Okay, which do you want? Do you want drummer? Do you want identification or integration? Which card do you want? The healing is still for everybody. These cards that come up for everybody. I invite you to stay because the healing is happening for all of you. All of these things are coming up. You are divinely orchestrated here in this moment because of the healing that is needed. I'm doing the healing on all of you. Carrie. You want a card, my love? What card do you want? Okay, drummer, what I got for you? Ooh, this is a good one. I haven't seen this one either. I'm gonna do all of these. Like, I'm completely gonna go through them. I cleanse it. Alright. Identifying. Stopping freedom. What is stopping you from experiencing freedom? This is a good fucking card. Damn. Being more self-sufficient. I was just talking about like starting these businesses and doing it. I know I'm not in a stagnant place. Like I'm doing the things. I'm doing all the things, but I'm doing them for freedom. Like I want a life that I do not need a vacation from. The purpose of, doing all the things, trying to get a multiple stream of income is to bring in a life that I do not need a vacation from. I'm living a life that I am happy with every single day. Like that is what I feel is stopping my freedom, even though I am the freest I've ever been, which is incredibly wild to even say because I am the freest I have ever been in my whole entire life. I am the most open. I am the most authentic. I am the happiest. I am the proudest of myself that I have ever been in my entire life. I did not know the power that was in me. And this is what brings me passion, is showing people the power within them that is ready to come out. It's fucking ready. Drummer, the floor is yours, love. If not, I'm going to say I love you guys. I honor you, and thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Thank you for being part of my series. I am going to continue this shadow work. I am going to continue doing it. This card game, I am going to pull 2 cards, maybe every other day, and I am going to do a video. I'm going to do a vlog on it and show you each card that comes up, because there's cards in this game that I haven't seen in the Shadow Workbook Journal. And so I'm going to go through the whole entire deck, and I'm going to that is going to be the premise of my videos. I'm going to put videos out on shadow work in order to help people, assist with the questions, to help them go down the rabbit holes. And because I can't be silenced. Like there's so much stuff trying to silence us right now, and I'm not about it. It is not happening. You are not gonna fucking silence me. I am doubling down. I am 10 toes down. It is not gonna fucking happen. Melissa, did that hook come out of your neck, my love? Do you feel better? I would have liked to put grounding plates on you. Oof. You got a call? Okay, so your card is stopping freedom. What is stopping you from experiencing freedom? If you do not want to answer, I have answered. I am going to call it quits if nobody else wants a card. I'm not quitting, I have other obligations. Okay, you just maybe had left prior to. I'm going to do regular healing the rest of this week. I recommend just follow me. Set your alarms. I'm going to do... Well, this is what Shadow Work's about, drummer. I am going to be back to my normal scheduled programming. I'm going to be doing energy healing. Like next week, like all the rest of the week, I'm going to be doing normal energy healing. What I do is I come on for like an hour and I will do energy healing for the collective, and then I will take one-on-ones. So... yeah, I just suggest follow me, love, and the free healing, it helps everybody, and it helps go through that sort of stuff. I don't have a time. That's why I said set your alarms, so it'll tell you when I'm on. Hey, Miss Carrie, did you want a card, my love? So, drummer, this card is, you say you don't know. Well, this is what it's meant to explore. The card is, what is stopping you from experiencing freedom? The reason I am elaborating on it and saying what is stopping me from freedom, that so you can look deeper into yourself to see, to figure it out. That is what shadow work does. Shadow work is. So, I invite you to think about the fact, maybe you not wanting to go deeper, you not looking, is what's stopping your freedom. This card is divinely orchestrated for you. It came out for you, drummer. This is something for you. So, stopping freedom. Which card would you like, Carrie? Identifying or integration? Melissa, if you want, we can pull one more card. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the extensive work on you. I am a little tired, and I do have a warning. So I'm spirit-led. Whatever my body's telling me is what I would do. So that's why I invite you to come into my lives where I'm doing a free healing or booking a one-on-one with me on the lives, and I can go into depth. What are you sorry about, drummer? Don't be sorry. There's no sorry. Sorry is never necessary. No, you don't get to use that vocabulary in my freaking life. No, this is an open, safe place. There is no sorries necessary here. There is not a right and there is not a wrong. There is none of that is happening. I don't believe in those. I don't believe in right or wrong. You don't get to be sorry. You're not going to apologize to me. I do not take your gift. I do not accept it, as Buddha says. You are valid for who you are in this life. You matter for being who you are. Don't apologize for whatever is happening, whatever you're feeling. This is just exploring. We are literally just exploring. That is it. We are just exploring. It has absolutely nothing to do with you being right or wrong. This is, okay, so what shadow work is it's the rabbit hole. It is literally seeing the rabbit hole, but you have to go down the rabbit hole. You have to go into it, which is actually my biggest fear in the freaking world. So all these rabbit holes that I go down on a normal basis, like all the knowledge and stuff like that, that's the scariest thing in the world for me. So it is sort of stepping into my power to go into the darkness, because even saying the word and seeing and visualizing it going into a dark space I swear to you, I've been buried alive. One of my past lives, I was buried alive. Okay. What is stopping you from experiencing freedom? So I will give another analogy. Stepping into my purpose, stepping into it deeper. This week I've kind of took action and I started recording this. What is stopping me from freedom? Advertising myself, from putting myself out there more. I know I'm meant to be on bigger platforms. I know that I'm meant to speak. I know that I'm meant to talk about this stuff. I know that I'm meant to educate and guide. So by me not putting myself out there, I am literally holding myself back from the freedom that I can explore. So this week is part of it for me. It's a big thing for me. It's important to me because I'm stepping into my power. Like I've just started stepping into my power. All the work that I do, all the stuff that I do on myself, you still have to take the action to do it. It's an action. It's a choice. What are you not doing? What are you choosing? Because whatever you're not changing, you're choosing. So what are you choosing that's stopping you from freedom? Stopping me from freedom is stressing and making my life miserable. That is a mental hell that you are in. And that is a programming that is put in you. I suggest you listen to, have you ever heard of Joe Dispenza? He is amazing, and he talks about opening the mind and tells you how to heal this stuff to bring you a different state of being, a different concept. So I suggest Joe Dispenza, and it is, what's his book? Shoot, I think it's in, I have it, if you go into my store, if you go into my TikTok store, it's in there. The book, what's the book? How to Not Be Yourself, or I think it's called, I'm not saying the word right. Let me look it up. I got my computer here. Let me look it up. Stop Joe Dispenza, let's look at the book. Okay, Joe Dispenza and books. Like you could probably, I'm on YouTube, like you could do this on YouTube. Breaking the habit of being yourself. Breaking the habit of being yourself. I can send some healing if she tells her mind, tell her body that she's safe and unconditionally loved. I feel some stuff in my back now. It's more effective if she's in the live, but I will happily send whatever I can in this moment for physical pain. I'm gonna go back to what I had playing, my music. So the book is Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. That's you, drummer, don't even. Joe Dispenza. Dispenza. Oh, there we go. She should feel better. Like I just cleared something. Okay, are you still here, my love? Are you ready for your card? We're moving on to the next card, my love. We're gonna send in some healing. I want to send in healing for that card. They told me to pull that card back out. You didn't send healing. I said, okay. So I'm listening. I'm listening to my guides. They said, send in some healing. It'll bring some assistance. Okay. Stop. Freedom. What is stopping me from your freedom? We're going to send in some healing here to help you understand. Okay. Oof. Oh, that's heavy on the neck. Okay. Oof. Make sure you're breathing. Some third eye stuff going on there. It's amazing. I love that. Yeah, I'm clearing. The yawning, burping, bubbly tummy is all part of it. Okay, there we go. That feels better. Carrie, you're identifying. Okay, let's shuffle. We'll shuffle it up. Okay, here we go. This is identifying card. Life decisions. How has your shadow self influenced your life decisions? Fuck. All of my life. Me not looking at any of my life. And the floor is yours, Carrie, but I am answering this also openly. All of my life decisions came from my trauma. From the shadow part of myself that I was not looking at. And the power that I had within me that I was refusing to look at did not come out. And I'm going to be 42 this year. And I looked at the stuff and I got my power back. I got my life force energy. Like, I am the most magnetic and vibrant and healthiest and happiest and just childlike. Like I'm just like a big kid most of the time. And like stuff just like rolls off me now, and it's because I was willing to look at the things. All of my life decisions were based off of trauma that I did not look at, that I did not want to look at. How has your shadow self influenced your life decisions? All of my decisions. I don't know even one that wasn't from trauma. It took radical acceptance. That's where the healing started. When I started looking at what and why my life wasn't changing. When I took on that, when I became self-aware, when I became aware, when I saw what was not being seen, I could start implementing change. To change a behavior, 3 steps, okay? 3 steps. Become aware. That's just the first step. It doesn't mean that it is happening. Become aware, and then you integrate it. In order to integrate it, you need to do the things. You need to do the basic things. You need to implement it, the baby steps. Each individual healing that you get done. Each time you go into a healing, somebody that is doing healing. Each time that you go and take a different choice, that you do a different step. Every single individual time you take a different step. That is integrating. And then third is default. That is how you make the change, the better change. Carrie, the floor is yours. If you don't want to answer, you do not have to. This is not, there is no pressure, there is no shame, my love. This is open if you want. Okay, the card that we pulled for you is life decisions. How has your shadow self influenced your life decisions? It's okay, my love. You live in your life. Everybody's living. We all are living our life. We all have things. Don't be sorry. No, absolutely. I was already answering. You were already telepathically telling me, and I already answered that and said, nope, you don't get to do that here. You don't get to be sorry. Nope, 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 no sorries. You don't need to be sorry. I am willingly giving my time to this. I will not do any harm to myself. I am willingly giving my time. This is what I'm choosing to doing. I'm choosing this. Everything, like being a grown-ass woman, is part of it. You know what I'm saying? I own my yes, I own my no. I know what I'm doing because I listen to my body and it tells me what is right for me. My body says what is right for me and I listen to it. Even if my brain, even if my logic brain is telling me it's wrong, I will listen to my heart and my gut and my intuition and what's coming in. So my body's telling me yes. So life decisions. How has your shadow self influenced your life decisions? I invite you to look at that. Okay, so you said in many ways a lot of wrong decisions, and that's kind of a roundabout of what I said. But there are no wrong decisions. That's the thing. You cannot make a wrong decision. You can be taken on a detour, like going on the road of life. If you are offered an opportunity to go one way, there's a doorway that if you are not aware of, the shadow work makes you aware of this stuff so you can see it, so you can go through that door. You're offered a level up. It doesn't mean because you don't like that door and you're not ready, because only your soul knows when you're ready to heal. When you're ready to heal or choose a different path or do a different thing or be a different thing or any of the above. Your soul is the only one that can assist you in doing that. So they weren't wrong decisions. They were lessons or blessing. They were lessons that you were being taught to lead you to this point in your life. You are exactly where you need to be. You are never in a wrong spot. You are never late. You are never sorry. You are never wrong. You don't need to be any of those things. That's something society has perpetually put on us. Okay? So just like if you're Google Maps, if you're on the road, if you're on the highway of life, if you take the wrong turn, it's going to reroute you. It's just going to reroute you. You would take in a detour. You're going to go the other way. Hi, bud. Hi, bud. And Leo came over to support this. He's like right under my feet. Like he's like loving all over me. For Carrie, this is beautiful. Hi, bud. Hi, bud. Oh, he's playing with the card on the ground. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Oh, the Leo. That's a little. Ow! Don't do that, bud. Okay, yeah, I gotta. Okay. Mom! I have to talk to her about this. Okay, I gotta write this down. Ribs. Never mind, I'm writing it down. I'm taking him to the vet tomorrow, so I needed to write down because he's got some, because he's a stray cat that we just got. I've only had him a week. You know, we're taking him to tomorrow. He gets a full visit, and I have to write down. He's got, so when I pet a certain part of his back, I think it's like his back leg. He's got something going on that's causing pain because he doesn't. He's the sweetest boy. This is the sweetest little boy. Like, I love this little boy. He is so incredibly sweet. And you are so very welcome, my love. I love you so very much. I love you and I honor you. But he's not in pain. That's the thing. And he found me in his light. He found me. He came running from 3 freaking parking lots over, came bellowing. The lights weren't on in my house. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was on the balcony. I went out to the balcony and he came running to me, bellowing. And literally when I put him into the carrier, he came so easy. Like, I mean, like, this little guy trusted me so incredibly much. It was insane. So the first night on the balcony, he found his way out because it's a screened-in balcony. He found his way out. And I have a cage that just so happened. I had a cage that, that I was meant to take to, that my mom put into our, like, storage thing or whatever. And it's a cage. It's like my roommate, we were supposed to take it to storage. Or not storage, but the shelter or whatever. And that's what I was going to do is I'm like, okay, I'll just take it with me to the shelter. But it kept him in, the next night. It kept him here. So he couldn't get out. So, it was, well, he's reinforcements. This is the thing. So cats are healers. They're transmuters. So everything that's happening, I've been taking on a lot of shadow work, generational trauma. There's a lot of stuff that I'm going through. There's a lot of boxes that I'm going through that are my mom's that have so much trauma in them that can't, because I believe that objects, just like us, we're energy beings. We're just energy bouncing balls, that certain objects hold trauma. When, and I kind of believe this my whole life because anytime there was a negative emotion attached to something, I got rid of it. I always believed that. And after my divorce, I literally, when I moved into my last roommate's apartment, I had 40 boxes. And when I left there, I only had 12. That was because I got rid of all of it. Like, I didn't need it. It was all excess shit that was just trauma. It was just trauma. It was just stuff. It was like, fuck all this stuff. I don't want this stuff. Like, none of it was good for me. None of it. And it was like, I'm a minimalist. I don't believe in, 12 spatulas or, do you know what I'm saying? Like that, like that's the reference that I always use, the 12 spatulas. Like I don't need that many. Like one good stainless steel spatula that is going to give me good food. I'm allergic to cats, and it has to do with their saliva. So if you give a cat a bath on a normal basis, it has to do with their saliva and the what they're putting off. It's not anything. If you give the cat a bath on a normal basis, or you have the baby wipes in the normal basis, that you're like their baby wipes, because they have a different pH. Like they have baby wipes that you could use if you're using them on them regularly, like make it a daily routine. Like the way I got out of that was my cat that I had for 16 years, Isis. I bathed her every week, once a week, and that's how I was able to have her. And that's also, I want to specify this, that allergic is disease. Dis-ease. So somewhere, I invite you to look at where is he not allowing that transmuter in his life. Because now I have 2 cats. And, I had 1 cat and, I have allergies. But I always look at that as, well, why? Where in my body has disease? Dis-ease. A dis-ease, an allergy. My allergies are a reflection of too much. Like I have Hashimoto's disease. Anytime I get too much of something in my body, it can become toxic. And my body doesn't recognize quality over quantity. My body only sees too much of something. Oh, we gotta attack it. So I don't want to say that I completely healed it, but I did also do shots. I did do shots for 5 years to heal all the allergies, and that because they needed to give me the antibodies for my body to process to create it to get rid of it. And so it became better in time. And if that's something that you really want, I'm going to speak personally to you because I know like you guys don't have kids, so that maybe that's something that you want, that nurturing, mothering thing. that may be something that he needs to deal with, because you guys don't have kids, and it's like, if you don't want kids, but you still want to be a mother in some sort of way, so you don't mother him, smother him, become the mother to him, having that little thing to nurture will bring out the feminine in you. Like, it will bring out the feminine in you. So that could be something that you may need to be doing. If you're being called to do it, if your soul is calling you to do it, if you keep being drawn to it, that is something I invite you guys to explore. That, you know, this is what I need to stay in my feminine. So I'm not mothering you, I'm not smothering you, and I'm not doing this for you. Because a lot of us women have been in the roles of smothering and mothering, and you know, even right now, I'm being called to step back from you know, situations that, like, I need to step back. Like I need to not do that. I get so excited. I get so fucking excited, and I love it. And it's like it's not even the new experience. It's like the science behind it, and like the energy that's like the energies that are coming online, like that stuff. Like, I'm just like, I want to freaking explore this. Like, it's so crazy. It just, I get so excited. Like, yeah. Yeah, we're healing every day, my love. You're healing every day. And it's not about getting rid of your masculine, and it's not about not operating from your masculine. When I am modeling, when I am acting, I am in my masculine energy. There are some times, if a man is in his feminine, his wounded feminine, you will dominate him because you do not feel safe. You as a woman, if you resonate more in a feminine, okay, and this isn't gender related, this is just if you are a feminine based energy, and you prefer it, if you are most comfortable, like my soul and my body is most comfortable in its feminine energy. But if you do not feel protected by that man, you will protect yourself. And that is why so many women are dropping into their masculine, is because they didn't have that protection and that safety with that man. And it's both, okay? So it's healing on both ends. If you're doing the healing and he's not doing the healing, like for me, and I'm not deterring you to go away from your husband, but I'm saying for me, I wasted so many years. That's me personally in my situation. My ex was in his wounded feminine and wasn't doing the work and kept saying he was going to do the work and didn't do the work. And I went into my masculine, and it literally was killing me. Literally. I mean, to do no harm. The act of doing no harm to them or to you. If you are harming yourself, it is not something for you. And I'm not saying your husband is this, none of this. I'm using my own specific situation, where it took me a very long time to take reference to that. Yeah. All right, let's send in some emotion here, and then I'm gonna call it quits. I got an early morning. I got a lot of stuff I gotta do tomorrow. It's a busy week. And I'll be back to my regularly scheduled programming. I'm going to start putting videos out on the shadow work. I invite you all to follow me. I'm going to be doing I'm thinking maybe three a week or something, where I'm going to put up vlogs on pulling a card and talking about it, talking about my experiences, and showing people how to do the integration, how to do the identifying, because a lot of people don't know how to do it, the work. A lot of people, this is the biggest thing that I've got out of this, is there's so many people with the shadow workbook journal, but they haven't been doing the work. And they don't know how to do it because they visually need to see it. They physically need to see it. They need to see somebody else do it. A lot of people are visual. They need to visually learn how to do it. This is a lot of my clients are this. They need to visually see it. So a client that I'm working with, a lot of it is visual. Like, I have to give a lot of visuals. I use my life experiences to elaborate on it. Like, this is what I do in my work. So it's literally shadow work. It's what I do in order to assist for others to see in themselves. I use my experiences as a analogy for somebody to resonate with, to recognize in themselves, where does this hit home? Where in this situation? It's not that everybody's going to have the same situation as me. It's not that everybody is going to have the same opinion as me. It's not that anybody's even going to understand it. But if one part of it allows you to look down that rabbit hole and maybe dive deeper, that I'm assisting somebody. And that's what matters, because and it's an avenue into the energy healing. It's an avenue into the energy healing of doing the work, because the more that you go down, the more healing that you send in for those moments, the more that it'll come out of your body. And the more that you let go of what is not for you, then you are allowing what is for you to come in. And that is the glimmer. That is the full glimmer of shadow work. You do the work on yourself. You don't do it to process the trauma. You process the trauma so you can allow the love and the joy and the happiness to come in. You're creating space in your vessel to allow that energy to come in. That is what you're doing. You're getting rid of the old. You're removing the blocks by looking at yourself and looking at the trauma and going through the shadow work, so that way the good stuff can come in. Because the good stuff's trying to get to you. The good. Okay, my loves, I love you. I honor you. Thank you for coming. I do shadow work. I will pull shadow work. I don't know if I'll do a series on it again, but I do know that I will be, unless people ask me to, I guess maybe. But I will. I mean, I do have my shadow work cards when I am my lives. So thank you. I honor you. If you feel called to follow me, do. If you don't. But I hope this helped. I hope this little visual and these videos helped. And my full episodes are being posted to YouTube. I am reposting these so people can go in. And the healing is timeless. It doesn't mean that you had to be alive in that moment. The healing that came in for each individual piece of shadow work, each question that came up, and the healing that came in. I know there was some extensive work that was done. It took me down the past 2 days. I think 2 days. I don't know. I'm losing track of time. I love you guys. I'm doing the work with you. I'm in it. I'm doing it. And I'm in it with you. Okay. So I love you. I honor you, and thank you for coming. I will see you soon.